Hello, Cheddar.
Hello?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so I have some questions for you if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, you know about Lorna Fox when he watched the debate between Elon Levi and Mehdi Hassan? Remember
Uh,
that?
maybe.
When Mehdi Hassan was talking about Palestinian children being sniped in the head.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Remember that?
Are you here to repeat Bad and Panada talking points?
No, I don't even watch Bad and Bad.
Okay, well, did you see the clip going around Twitter? Are you gonna ask me if like Lonerbox was laughing at children getting sniped in the head? Is that what we're gonna do here?
No, I have a different question actually.
Okay, what?
It's not about Lorna Fox. I don't care about Lorna Fox. I want to ask you, do you think IDF soldiers snipe Palestinian children intentionally?
Some of them probably do, yeah.
Okay, do you think that's bad?
Yeah, that would be a war crime. I just don't think
Okay,
that it's like a top down order or that there's a crack sniper killing division or whatever,
okay.
or a
You know
crack
that
child sniper division or whatever the fuck.
after the ceasefire, you know how many children were sniped just for crossing the whatever border that they had, and they called them terrorists. They said terrorists were neutralized on Twitter. It was
Uh,
just 5 and 9 years old children.
yeah, I've seen some of that, although I would have
What
to
do you think
look
about
into
that?
that further.
You look,
What?
you need to look at it further. What do you think of that?
I mean, I would not think that that kind of thing was good. I think that that is part of the problem with Israel not setting up a proper dividing line or whatever.
Okay, so you think if a child, 5 years old child, say was playing football and they went over the line, it's fair game to snipe them in the head.
No, I don't think that it's fair game to snipe them in the head
Why?
if they go over the
So
line,
how do you
if
think
they
Israel
don't
is the
know
most
that
moral
there is a
army?
line. I don't think Israel's the most moral army. Where the
Do you
fuck are
think
you
it's a
getting
moral
this?
army? Do you think it's a moral army?
No, I do not think that Israel is necessarily a moral army. I think that they are an army that needs a lot of
Do you think they are war criminals?
I think there are some war criminals in the IDF. Yeah, probably
Do you
quite a
think
few
the
who don't get
IDF in
punished.
general is a war as a criminal army?
Um, no, I don't know that I would use that definition to describe the IDF in general as a criminal
And
army.
why do they allow the IDF to snipe children without punishment?
Because
I think it's awesome. Oh, we neutralized terrorists.
that
It's
they
so great to hear.
have severe lack of accountability problems.
Oh, okay, awesome. So are they as bad as Hamas?
No.
What does make them uh what is what does make the IDF better than Hamas?
Hamas is a terrorist organization that deliberately targets civilians on purpose because they want to destroy
Okay.
Israel.
Do you
And
think they deliberately snipe children at the border?
okay, hold on. You're going to have to show me some evidence that they actually sniped children because my understanding was that they like
Let's look it up. Children sniped at the border, Israel, after the ceasefire, by the way. 5 and 9 years old. Let's look it up.
by the way, just so you know,
I know you know about that tweet.
Hamas
I know you know about
doesn't
that.
have any accountability whatsoever. Like they don't care.
That that, that so did the Israeli soldier that raped people in prison and were filmed on camera and was released to the public, were they punished?
They were trying to be published or
Were they punished or
punished.
not? That's a question.
Not yet, no. That's
Okay,
still
so do they have
proceeding.
accountability?
That's still
There's accountability
proceeding.
if they haven't been punished yet.
Okay, what about Hamas who raped all those people in on October 7th? Were they
What
punished?
is a terrorist
No.
group? I don't care about it. They are a terrorist group. They should
Then
be
why
punished.
did you make the comparison?
No, you're pretending that the IDF is some sort of moral army
No,
that's better
I'm
than
not
Hamas, and they
pretending
are as
that.
much of a terror group as
No,
Hamas.
they're not.
It's, I
The
view the two as
intention
just the
is
same.
not there. Do you think that if the roles were reversed and um if on October 7th if let's say the roles were reversed,
I already
okay?
told you that I think Hamas is a terrorist group. I think they're criminals. They should be punished. every Hamas member that participated in October 7th should receive the most punishment.
Bro,
That was innocent.
in like
But
about
you will
24
not give
hours
the
they
same.
killed
You
1,200
will not say the same
people.
about the IDF member who
No,
committed the
because
same
I don't
kind of
think
crime.
that they're morally equivalent. Because in about 24 hours, Hamas killed 1,200 people, the majority of which were
And they should be punished
civilians.
harshly for it.
And
That's what I believe.
and the IDF has not
Because you don't
done
believe that the
anything
IDF
like
members who
that.
snuck children in the head should be punished as
Yeah, I
this.
do think that they should be punished. I think that's a
Are they?
huge
Are they being
problem.
punished?
No, they aren't necessarily being punished.
Why? Isn't Israel the only democracy in the Middle East? What happened to that?
Yeah, they are the only democracy in the Middle East.
Then why are they not punishing them?
Because they have a whole bunch of problems.
Why did
Because
they
they're not
release
perfect.
IDF soldiers after protesting? Israeli IDF have the right to rape.
That's not what that. That's not what those protests were about.
And the only democracy in the Middle East.
That's not what those protests were about. Wait, do you think there are other democracies in the Middle East? Like, why does it matter whether Israel's a democracy or not? You think a democracy's population can't be radicalized?
That's not my proposition. I didn't say, oh, Saudi Arabia is the best democracy.
Well, then why are you bringing it up?
I never said that. But your side is saying that Israel is a democracy. So
yeah, they are. But like, what kind
of democracy?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
A genocide.
I mean, I don't think that they're committing a genocide, but that's another thing entirely.
So how did you arrive to that conclusion? How?
Because that a genocide is not you bomb a bunch of people. A genocide is what's happening in Sudan right now. That's what a genocide looks like. Because so you don't know what genocide is if you think a genocide is high death number.
Doesn't matter. It's like, oh, your camp would only. I have never seen Lonerbox, Destiny, or wherever Hutch, or wherever the people you support talk about Sudan outside of the context of Israel. Why is that?
That's not true. Lonerbox did a whole stream talking.
I have never seen any of you guys talk about Sudan outside defending Israel.
Bro, okay.
You don't give a shit about
Shut the fuck up. Yes, Lonerbox did an entire stream about Sudan, and he did a bunch of research into it.
He was trying to defend Israel.
No, he wasn't. He talked just about Sudan. He didn't really say anything about Israel.
Here's a question. How did Lonerbox manage to meet higher up people in Israel as a tourist? How?
Because everybody knows somebody in Israel. What are you talking about? It's not that hard.
Do they know Lonerbox? Lonerbox have connection in Israel?
Yeah, he does. He was invited there by a Palestinian. Maybe you shouldn't
with higher up people in Israel.
Yeah, he was invited there by a.
Admitting.
He was invited there by a Palestinian who lives in Kfar Qasim, who knows a former member of parliament.
How about Ilan Levi? Did the Palestinian love Ilan Levi?
It's not that hard to get to talk to Ilan Levy, bro. I think a lot of those. I think a lot of those. He was not. Okay.
Did he challenge him? Did he challenge him? Do we have a video of Lonerbox challenging Ilan Levi?
Shut the fuck up. If you're gonna keep talking over me, then this conversation is gonna be over.
Go ahead. Answer my question. I have a simple.
No, did you? No. Shut the fuck up. Did you hear what I just said? If you keep talking, then this conversation is going to be over real fast. Stop talking over me when I'm trying to answer your questions.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Jesus fucking Christ. If you have a problem with how Lonerbox handled Ilan Levy or the trip or whatever, then you should go talk to him about that. I'm not going to be like your punching bag so you can shadowbox him. I mean, I'm assuming that you probably got banned from the server or whatever because you seem like one of those crazy people who probably he doesn't want to deal with anymore. Like, if you're making assertions that he got banned or that he got paid by Israel, that's like really fucking stupid.
I say it wasn't a normal I'm just a tourist. I'm just here to have fun. No, he met important people. They know like, oh, this guy is gonna help us pump up that propaganda. This guy's gonna help us. He's so pro-Israel. He's gonna help us.
Bro, he went to the fucking West Bank and interviewed Palestinians there. He talked to Mustafa Barghouti. He went to a fruit market that got bombed out by the IDF. He got harassed by like shitty extremist settlers. What propaganda tour would let you do any of these things?
Propaganda being with Destiny, who said that all the things that's happening in Palestine is just Bollywood. He said that multiple times. It's Bollywood.
No, he did not say that
Did
multiple
Lonnerbox challenge him on
times.
this? He did say, "Oh my god." Do you even watch Destiny?
Yeah, I have watched him.
Do you say he's never said it's Bollywood?
No, I said he doesn't say, he's never said it multiple times over and over
He said
again,
it
or
multiple
that he
times.
thinks that it's
That he was
all
watching a
Bollywood.
husband getting shot by
Yes, he
the
did say
IDF,
that one
and he
time.
laughed at it and said, "This woman, his wife, when she cried and went after to see her husband shot, he laughed at it and said, 'This is Bollywood.'" What do you think about this?
Yeah, I know. I did not agree with that, and neither did Loner, by the way.
I mean, he went to Israel with him after that.
Okay, so what? You think that two people who have disagreements can't be friends with each other?
Do they have disagreement? I didn't see Lonerbox express any of these disagreements.
Well, then you don't watch either of them, because he went
I do
on
watch
Destiny's
Lonerbox. I do watch
stream
Destiny.
and he disagreed with
Destiny.
him. They had a discussion about it.
Okay, so why when Lonerbox watches Hassan or someone he hates, he has such a visceral reaction. He lists all the curses, they're there to history, but when he watches Destiny, watches him as just a neutral actor.
He
There's
doesn't watch him
nothing to
as a
say about
neutral
him. The
actor.
guy who violated his ex, he never says anything bad about him.
Okay, dude, if
What?
you're gonna start bringing up personal shit like that, I'm gonna kick you out of
Personal?
here. Yeah, because that's his personal drama life, and also you're even wrong about that. Okay, the person in
How am I wrong?
question's not his
Does
ex.
Lonerbox say anything when Destiny on screen? Does he say, "Oh, this guy's a disgusting guy who violates consent all the time"? Does
Yes,
say
he has
that
said bad
at all?
stuff about
When he
Destiny.
watches him on Jubilee, when he watches him on Piers Morgan, when he watches him on whatever, does he
Oh,
say that?
do you want him? Okay, bro, listen to me. I'll happily talk to
Compared
you
to when he
about.
watches Hassan, compared to when he watches
Stop it!
like
Shut up!
Phillips or
You're
whatever,
doing it again. I will
does he
happily.
do that?
Shut up! I will happily talk about.
Okay, respond then. I'm waiting.
I will happily talk to you about.
Waiting. Ding ding.
Shut up! I will happily talk to you about politics. I am not going to talk to you about this dumb drama shit. Okay? I do not care about this. If you want to yell at Lonerbox about it, you can try,
Lonerbox
but he
talked
probably
on his
won't
stream.
talk
Did he
to
talk
you.
about when Palestinian children were sniped in the head at the port? Did he ever mention that? Lonerbox,
Why don't you talk to him about that? Why are you
when they
here?
destroyed the flotilla that was going to Gaza, he said, "Oh, this is just a fireworks." And then
I don't believe that he talked about
and
that.
he never acknowledged that.
Why? I talked about that. I talked about that.
Qatar, when they were having a peace, we're trying to negotiate peace. They had
Are
a
you
strike
just are you just here to
on them. And what did
shadowbox?
Lonerbox said it's justified.
Are you here to shadowbox against someone who isn't here?
Well, respond to me.
No,
You're
why? You're not. I'm
You're a
no.
Lonerbox defender. You love Lonerbox. You agree with him 99% of the time. So I'm not shadowboxing some like.
Yes, you are. You're here to shadowbox him. You're literally doing history speaks. Do you want me to DM him and get him to come in here? Do you really want to talk to him that badly?
You agree with all his take, right?
He lives with it rent free in your head, bro.
Do you agree with his Israel take or not?
I don't even know which take you're talking about. He hasn't even been talking about Israel as much recently.
Yeah, because he can't defend them anymore.
No, that's not why. It's because there's other shit going on.
It's so difficult to defend them. That's why the Lonerboxes, the Destinies, and the Hutches stop talking about Israel because it becomes so difficult to defend.
No, that's not why. It's because it's because that Hutch and Destiny are American and they wanted to talk about American politics. Hutch also never even talked about Israel that much.
Invested in Israel Palestine until it became so difficult to defend it. That's why he moved on.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, okay, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were
like the major events that happened, like when they had the ceasefire, where they had like all these kind of stuff. He wouldn't even talk about it because he knows like, oh, this is a losing case, so I'm not gonna talk about it anymore because it became difficult to defend it, and he will not admit that they are doing any war crimes, any kind of genocide or whatever, because it's like, oh. What is it like
to like think about
the ICC report? Why didn't he do that?
What?
Why didn't he read the ICC report about the genocide in Gaza? He said, "Oh, it's too long. I'm not gonna read it."
Bro, that was not an ICC report. What the fuck are you talking about? That was a UN report. It was not done by the ICC.
You unreward. He said, "I'm not gonna read
He
it. It's
did
too long.
read it.
They're soy. They're leftist. They
He
love
did.
these brown people. I'm not gonna read it." That's what he said.
He did
Why?
read it.
He didn't read it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah, he did. I watched him go over parts of it on his stream. Bro,
Part of it.
if
So he didn't read the whole thing.
why are you so like does he like does he live in a luxury condo in your head? Like why don't you talk to me
Well,
instead of talking to him?
Yeah, because he will not allow any descending voice to speak to him.
That's not
That's
true.
some
What
bullshit.
the fuck are you talking about? He debates people all the time. He'll happily talk
Yeah,
to
he
you. It would
debates
be
people until
funny
they are like,
content.
"Oh my god, I can't respond to
Maybe
them."
maybe you're just not entertaining enough because you're a fucking dickhead, you know.
I never spoke to Loner.
Well, maybe you should
Yeah,
try. Maybe try
well,
joining the Discord or going into
I
his
got banned off
chats.
Discord just even before speaking to him.
Well, you never tried
oh.
to talk to him then, did you?
Yeah, because he will not talk to me.
So you're just mad.
he's
You're just a mad random on the
trying
internet.
to. Oh my god, Ethan Klein is so justified with his lawsuit. Have you seen Lonerbugs react to Hassan playing
I
video games in the background, not
literally
saying
don't
anything
care
for
about
both
any of that shit.
minutes?
Is that just all you do in your free time? Is just
Yes,
like
this
watch
guy's
fucking
clearly
drama
a
on the internet?
snarker.
all
He's obsessed with
Lonerbugs
do
does
this
in
you?
his
shit.
free
I'm
time is
sorry.
watch Hassan
Do
and
you have a job
cry
or do
about
you
it.
go to school or something?
That's not your business.
Oh, so you don't. Okay, that explains a lot.
You?
Listen. Yeah,
You?
I'm a parent, so I have a lot
You're
of
parents and
fucking
you
work
are
to
in
do.
Discord. Go look
Yeah.
at your
No,
children.
yeah, okay,
What are you doing here?
let's start mom shaming
What are you
me.
doing here? Go look at
It's
your
midnight
children.
right now. She's
Your
sleeping.
children
Thank you
already
very
need
much.
you.
Thank you for caring for my child.
Your
Look,
children need you.
if you don't
CBS.
care, if you don't care about your real life, okay, then I'm really
Children
fucking
are
sorry
there.
for you.
Spend time with children.
I don't know why you have to
Oh no.
constantly
Your
bring
children
up
are gonna
random
grow up.
stuff. You're
Their
very
mom is
fucking
on Discord debating
parasocial about
people on
random
behalf of
people on the
Israel.
internet.
That's not what their children want.
Loner doesn't even know that you exist, bro.
I don't care
And
about
you
Loner.
are
Glad he doesn't know.
insanely
Yes, you
fucking
do care about
parasocial.
him. You
Yeah,
clearly
you
do.
clearly do.
You know
Yeah, because he's a
everything
love
about
child. He's
him.
funny. Nice to watch because he cry about Hassan all day, all night. All he cares about is lefties. Lefties do this, lefties do that. Twitch is bad, and he spread the rumor, the lie that Twitch banned Israel when it wasn't the case.
Literally don't care. I don't care. I don't
Hey,
care.
if you don't care,
what
why are
any
you
of
fucking
this is.
here? Get out.
Because
no
all you're
one invited
doing
you.
is fucking yelling about
Go
something that is
outside. Go spend
absolutely
time with
not
your children.
consequential at all,
They're crying
wasting
for you.
Kalinda's
I
time
know
for
they
no
are
fucking
crawling
reason.
on the floor,
You're
eating
wasting
dog shit
Kalinda's
like
time
people
for no fucking reason. I think you need
do they have
to
Giardia yet?
actually get a fucking
Your children
reality
have
check,
Giardia.
maybe get
You
some
can call
professional
CBS on you.
help.
They have CBS.
Yeah.
DK.
Yeah, you don't even know where I live, dude.
Well, we gotta find out and call CBS on you because
Yeah, okay, then do it.
children are not
Do it.
supervised. They're
Fucking do
eating
it.
dog shit.
I fucking dare you, do it.
Okay.
Fucking do it.
We're gonna call CBS on you.
Yeah,
Anyone
do it.
watching?
Do
Go
it
call
right now.
CBS.
Do it live on stream.
Call
Call
CBS.
it right now. Yeah,
Your
put it on
children are
speaker.
neglected. They're eating
Put
dog
it
food.
on speaker. I want to hear the ringing. I want to hear the other person on the phone. Do it right now, live on stream.
Okay, I don't think they have CBS in Israel.
Oh yeah, because I'm
the
from
rape
Israel.
squad.
Apparently, okay, great.
Okay. Why do Americans go to Israel after they rape children?
Why do you
Why
do you
are you like this?
do you
do you just like Google talking points on Reddit or something like that? Damn, bro.
do you
most moral country in
Do
the
you
world?
touch grass in your life?
Grass?
Do you go
do you
outside
think
and talk to people?
Cheddar, do you think that do you think that like that what do you think about Jewish people?
I am Jewish myself.
Really? I don't believe you.
Oh, look at the racism.
I very much doubt that you are
Are you gonna call me a
Jewish.
cabo because I'm anti-Israel?
No, I'm not going to call you a capo because that you're anti-Israel.
Thinks any Jewish person against Israel is cabo, traitor, self-hating. If I say the same, if I say I don't believe Wonderbach is Arab. Hey, oh my god, that's racist. Why would you say that?
I mean, why Why would you? No, the reason why I don't believe you is because you're saying some weird shit about how Israel shelters pedophiles,
Yeah,
which is
I
kind of
don't like Israel at
anti-Semitic,
all.
bro.
Do you think all Jews love Israel? Are you serious?
No, I don't think all Jews love Israel. I think there's
Okay,
plenty
then
of
I'm one of
reasons
them.
to be
I'm one of the
critical.
people who don't like Israel.
Huh.
So-
I think you I think that you obsessively hate Israel to the point where you
Yeah, because
feel the
it's
need to attack
putting
content
all my people,
creators.
including me, in danger every day. Putting every
Hey,
Jewish person
hey,
outside of
Mina,
Israel in
do
danger
you,
every single day.
Mina, do you feel that
What's true?
do you feel that ISIS puts you in danger?
They
And
do. They
do
do.
you
Do you think 9/11 puts every Muslim in danger?
Okay, can you fucking let?
Do you think
She asked
9/11
me.
puts
Shut
Muslims
the
in
fuck
danger?
up,
Yes or
bitch.
no? Yes or no?
Okay.
Did you think 9/11 puts Muslims in danger?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, they did. I feel the same about
Yeah,
it.
I also
They
think
put all
ISIS
Jewish
puts
people
Muslims
in danger.
in
Yeah,
danger. Yes,
do you
I believe
think
that.
Because
Uh,
doing genocide doesn't help us.
So, anyways, that has nothing to do with
Are
Israel,
you
though.
Ukrainian?
What?
Why are you not fighting in the front?
Are you retarded?
Yes, this
Retarded?
guy is retarded. All right,
Jesus
Cheddar, you
Christ.
have like 5 seconds to agree or to like have a real conversation. If you just want to keep yapping about Lonerbox, then this conversation's over because this is like I'm not interested in shadowboxing him for you or like being your punching bag or defending everything that he's ever said or
All I'm
like
gonna
mind
say,
reading him.
Israel is like no one loved Israel. They lost the propaganda war. In Palestine, and you're gonna cry about it day and night.
Okay,
Wow.
fuck that guy.
Amazing. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, like goddamn. Listen,
I'm still disappointed he didn't call CPS live on stream.
that would have been funny. Listen, guys, I'm willing to have discussions and conversations, but I'm not interested in having discussions and conversations with people.
What? I left?
Yes, I banned him because he was clearly a fucking. I don't want Snarkers in here.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just came in to like tell him to shut the fuck up and let a woman talk for a moment.
Okay, well, I mean, Cheeto, you want to try your
But
hand?
you banned him, so
Are
I'm
you
out.
by Insomniac? I guess. Cheeto, are you also a stupid Snarker, or would you like to have a real conversation? I have no interest in talking to like fucking crazy or like dumb fuck Snarker people who just are gonna bring up drama and start talking about what other streamers think. Or do you actually want to have a conversation? Hello?
No, he's busy writing in chat, I guess.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, but can you at least put like proper voice activation on so we don't have to hear your
static
background? Yeah.
Like this doesn't need to be a dog pile or whatever, but that other guy was just crazy. Like he started out seemingly to want to have a conversation and then he just made it all about dumb internet drama.
Well, you let everyone else in to make it a dog pile, right? You dogpiled them. I don't want this to be a dog pile, but then you dogpiled them, so you're lying, right?
No, I did not make it.
You couldn't handle the conversation yourself.
I
you let
no,
in Mina.
I joined.
Right, you let in Mina, who just muddied up the conversation.
No, I can't
I wasn't
join
talking to
this
you.
channel
I was
without.
talking to Kalinda.
Look,
I was
if
talking to
you're gonna
Kalinda. You're
accuse
trying to
her
dogpile me
about
right now.
something that
You're
I
trying to
have-
dogpile me right now. You're trying to dog. I
Okay,
was talking
listen,
to her,
bitch.
and
You're
I'm talking
accusing
to
her of
her. I
something
asked
she
her a
hasn't
question.
done. You're
I asked
accusing
her
her
a
of something she
question.
hasn't
I asked
done.
her.
You're
Okay,
accusing
stop.
her
Let
of
her
Shut
answer
up.
for that.
She
Let
hasn't
her.
done.
Stop. Everybody stop talking. At least Mina will stop talking when I tell her to, whereas you will not, Cheeto, so I muted you. To answer your question, Mina and Insomniac have perms to come in here, okay? That's why they came in. They will talk and just talk to me. Or like they'll be quiet if I tell them to. But if you're gonna be like the other guy and not actually let anybody talk, then this is gonna last very, very little. This ain't gonna last very long. Okay.
Well, you didn't ask me to stop talking. You just muted me.
Are
right?
you willing
you didn't
to?
ask me.
Yeah, I did. I told you both.
No, you didn't. She did.
I started talking, and then nobody.
She was dogpiling me. I felt dogpiled.
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ,
I get
dude.
a little anxious. I get a little anxious when I'm dogpiled.
I'm
okay.
one person.
You're like.
See, you know.
You're...
No. Well, that makes two, right? Every one person can be
okay,
one person.
Shut
but
the
then
fuck
two
up.
becomes a dogpile.
Stop.
You're just abusing me now. You're abusing another minority.
Are you actually here to have a serious conversation, or are you just here to be a fucking
I would love
dickhead?
to. I was really offended.
I
was
don't.
really offended
I
by
don't
last
care,
conversation.
bro. I don't care about your virtue signaling, and I don't care about what you had to say about the last conversation.
Care about minorities, and you don't care about Palestinians, and you're okay with genocide. It's all very clear. It's
Yeah,
all
I
coming to
do care
fruition.
about minorities actually, and I do care about Palestinians.
Yeah, abusing them. You care
I
insofar as
want.
abusing
I
them.
want.
right?
Wait, are you a Palestinian?
What kind of minority
I
are
may
you?
be. None of your business. Why are you asking? So you can abuse me further? You can dogpile me further?
No, I just want to know
So
if
you're
you're
white. Okay, that's great.
I mean, you
Why don't
probably
you?
are
Why
white.
did? Well, Mina, why did you come in to abuse Cheddar? She was having a conversation back and forth, but you felt that
No,
conversation wasn't enough.
Cheddar
You
was
decided
not
to tell him
having
to
a
shut up and
conversation.
talk over him. Why are you talking over
Cheddar-
me? You're complaining about talking over. I can't talk over you, or I'll get
Cheddar
banned.
was
But you'll talk over
no,
me when you want.
no. It's you can talk over me a
Yes.
little
Yes,
bit.
yes.
It's just that if you're gonna be an obnoxious like dumb fuck about it, then yeah,
Well, if I disagree with you, then I'm a dumb fuck.
no,
If
I
you
want to
know.
have an actual conversation, and it seems like none
He
of
was
you
asking
guys
you
do.
legitimate questions. He was asking very detailed questions, right?
No, he wasn't. He was asking. He wanted to shadowbox me because he couldn't talk to Lonerbox. That's actually
What
what he
question
wanted.
did you feel was unfair? What question did you
He
feel
kept
was unfair
asking me all
from
these dumb
Cheddar?
questions about Lonerbox's views, which I
Name
don't
one.
think are relevant.
Well, he started with you, and then he moved
Yeah,
on
he did,
to
and
shared
initially it
views.
was fine, and then he started talking about Lonerbox and Destiny. I'm not interested in shadowboxing, okay?
Aren't
I'm
you
not
like a major
here.
Wonderbox mod?
It doesn't matter what I am.
Okay, so let's get to the truth of the matter. You probably agree with him largely, and you share a lot of the same views. So assuming that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, right?
I mean, yeah,
It's not like a
but
crazy
why-
thing to bring up.
Yeah, but
like, do
no,
you think
it
that
is.
Denims? Do you think Denims is at all related to Hassan because like she orbits him, or do you think they're completely separate entities and
my God,
Hassan has
Kate.
no?
Bro,
You see, okay, the dog pile starts already.
I don't want to talk about this dumb
I
drama
didn't
shit.
say
Do you
anything.
want to talk about Israel Palestine?
It's an analogy. Are you unable to handle
No,
analogies?
I don't
Do you
want to
have a
talk
one-track
about
mind?
other streamers, and I don't.
You brought up him being unfairly bringing up Lonerbox. I don't think that was unfair.
I
Because you were
don't-
talking about Israel Palestine.
If you want to talk to Lonerbox, why don't you talk to Lonerbox?
Didn't you go on Pisco's stream to talk about H3H3? And like maybe we have heard that and wanted to also talk to
Sorry,
you about
because
that.
Pisco wanted to talk about
Why-
HDH.
is Mina
Oh,
continually
that's where you
talking
guys
about-
all came
You weren't saying
from.
anything.
You all came from Pisco's stream because that's where all the Snarkers hang out now.
I don't watch Pisco, right? I watch other creators.
Well, then
you
how the
not join?
fuck did you know?
Did you not
about...
join?
Yeah,
Did
I
you not
did. I
join?
went to Pisco's
Okay,
stream.
so you like talking H3 drama too. So let's not
No,
pretend
that actually
you're
was
not drama initiative.
That's not the reason why I went on Pisco's stream. I went on
What
Pisco's
did you
stream
go
to
on to
talk
talk
about left-wing anti-Semitism, which you would know if you
What did
actually
you start
watched
with?
it.
What did you start with?
I
What did you
asked
start
him
with and
a
talk about for over
question
an hour?
about the H3. Yeah, the only reason why that went on that long is
Over
because
an
Pisco
hour
wanted to
about
keep
drama.
talking
Oh,
about
I
it.
hate drama, but I'm going to talk about it for over an hour. And then sorry that we come here and have some opinions about it. It's not crazy. There's no
No,
snarking here.
here's-
I just had some opinions that you know, I felt were a little off.
Here,
and I just
no.
wanted to
Here's
talk
the
to you about
difference.
Your opinions.
Here's the difference, dude. There's a difference between wanting to talk to me about my opinions relating to like
You
drama
brought
shit
those opinions
and
about
wanting to
H3.
talk to Lonerbox or talk about other people's opinions.
Well,
You're
you just
trying.
said you didn't want to talk about drama. You just
You're
said you
trying
didn't want to talk about drama.
Yeah,
but
I
you
don't
spent an hour talking
particularly
drama
want to
the
talk
other day.
about drama.
Okay, probably.
Yeah,
Where
because
did
if
these people even come from?
they probably.
Fuck.
I mean, I knew that they'd be here eventually. It's the same shit. If you want to talk about Israel Palestine, I'd be
okay,
happy to talk
Do you
about
notice-
Israel
Do you notice
Palestine.
how you just want to like throw me in the trash like a little minority? Like, oh, these idiots, they just come in and have these opinions based on the words.
Bro,
I say.
you
Oh,
sound
no.
say
white
words,
as
you
fuck.
say words.
If you're
you
a
say words in
minority,
public.
say what kind
You
of
say
minority
word-
you are.
I don't
Otherwise, we
talk-
don't give a
I don't
fuck.
talk to the
Otherwise,
peanut
we'll just
gallery.
assume
I
that
don't
you're
pay-
fucking white.
You don't
because
care.
I don't-
You said you don't care. So why are you talking?
Yeah, because I am a minority, so I don't give a fuck
Okay,
what
so
kind
you
of
don't
minority
care.
you are.
So you
if
don't
you
care.
don't
So
fucking
why would I
come
talk to
out...
someone who doesn't
no,
care?
because you're
I
then
was
just
talking to
fucking
Kalinda,
cosplaying.
and you
You're
just
fucking
come in to
cosplaying.
muddy the
Nobody
waters.
gives a
You
fuck
just come
about
in
what
to muddy
your
the
fucking
waters.
grievance
You
is
just
here.
come
So
in
I
to
don't
muddy the waters.
understand
We
why
were
you're
having
even
a-
here in the first
We were
place.
just. You just said you don't care.
You're
You
mad
just don't.
because of
You
some
said you
other
don't
random
care.
that came
We were
here
having
that
a
just
very
tried to
productive
fucking
conversation.
shadowbox Kalinda,
We were having a
and then
very
you fucking
productive
accused
conversation
her
with Kalinda.
of something
I was
she
having a
hasn't
very
done,
productive
and
conversation
now
with
you're fucking
Kalinda,
mad at
and
me
you're
because
just
I'm
muddying the
talking because
waters.
you're just saying absolute nonsense
Did you
all
guys?
the fucking time.
Did you guys come from
Can
I
you
was
just
having
fucking-
Demon's stream?
very-
Is
I
that
was
is that what
having a
happened?
very
Did Queeman
Why do you
react
just
to
wanna
my combo
just
with
call me black.
Pisco?
Just call me the N-word. Just call me the N-word. Why are you just classifying me as like a lower class of person? I was in a very productive conversation, Kalinda, with you. And then you notice how the
I
other
don't-
person chimed in and made it
I
very
don't-
heated.
I don't think
You're
we were-
actually the drama monger. You're the drama monger because you bring in your peanut
I
gallery to shit on
don't-
me. We were
Wah,
having a
wah,
we were at
Wah.
see, you notice? Yeah, okay, yeah, where you're a dumb mother. Okay, we were having a productive
Okay.
conversation.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh.
I don't know how long this is gonna last. It probably won't last that long because you are kind of okay. Do you want to talk about Israel Palestine now? You were
I
saying
wanted to
some
just-
shit in the chat.
I wanted you. That's fair, right? And I appreciate you just making it you and me. I would appreciate you bringing back Shredder.
Why?
That's what I came in to say. I think that he had some productive thing to say.
No, he didn't. All he wanted to do was ask me about Lonerbox's opinions and continuously talk over me. I'm not interested in like talking and like speaking
so you
for other
disavow
people
Lonerbox's
who
opinions?
aren't here. No, I don't disavow Lonerbox's
Okay,
opinions.
so you
I
probably likely agree with a lot of
Yeah,
them,
I
right?
do, but why don't you ask me about
Okay,
my opinions instead of asking me to be a stand-in for Lonerbox?
Okay, fair enough. I think that's probably fair. I think that Cheddar could likely say, "Hey, do you agree with this Lonerbox opinion?" I assumed you did, but it's if you don't, I just want you to clarify your opinion. Is that fair?
Yeah, but like that's the problem is that that's not what it turned into. Instead,
I can understand.
It went from it went to him trying to talk about Loner and Destiny's trip to Israel, which has nothing to do with me because I didn't go to Israel.
I can understand. So this is what I'll say. I think both sides have a fair argument, right? Sorry, Mira got me a little heated, or Mina, whatever her name is. I think both you have a point that you're not Lonerbox. So when he attributes an opinion to you, probably feels unfair. At the same time, he probably feels that you went into other.
I might agree with those opinions, but like I'm not gonna like I would rather people. I just talk about what I think and don't like bring up shit that's got nothing to do. Like I didn't go to Israel.
That's fair. I think that was like after like 3 or 4 points, right? Where after the conversation
He went
started to
there
evolve
pretty
and Mina came in.
quick. No. He started talking about that before Mina came in. He went there pretty quick.
I think there was
And
like 3 or 4
and also
times.
Also the line was crossed as well too when he started talking about the drama with the drama with like Destiny and like what happened there and all that shit. Like I think that like I'm sorry, but that is not I'm not involved in that, and I don't really appreciate people randomly bringing that shit up. That's like Lonerbox's personal life, and I don't want to talk about that here or litigate it. And I think it's really shitty to bring it up. And when people do that, all it does is it just screams, "You are just a fucking snarker." If you can't just talk about
I can agree with
issues.
that. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. This is what I'll say. I think that it probably felt pretty gaslighting when you did it. Now, I'll agree with everything you just said. Those were probably unfair for him to bring up. I can also understand why he probably felt a little gaslit when you told me that you agreed with the opinions he brought up that were also loner boxes. So you did agree, you just felt that they were unfair because it's like he is attributing loner box's opinion to you, and you don't want to represent loner box, right? So
Well,
I
yeah,
totally
it's because
agree.
it's like he basically just wanted to talk to Lonerbox through me and to shadowbox with Lonerbox through me and have me sit here and defend all the things that Lonerbox has said rather than just talking to me about my opinions. And then he started attributing things to me that I did not say, which like a lot of you guys do. And I mean, you did it a second ago too when you were talking about the whole genocide thing and all that shit.
You did say it wasn't a genocide, but let's move past that.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't. I'm not convinced that it's a genocide. No, it could be. By the way, it's possible more information could come out, but I think we are missing.
Hey, as long as it's bombing
information.
and it's not machetes, right? You think that it's not a
No,
genocide?
I mean, do you understand like why that might be? Why like a group of people?
I don't. You're probably way more
soldiers-
educated than me. You're probably way more educated than me.
I mean,
One
I did
thing I just wanna
study
say-
the Holocaust at university, but
I just admitted that you're probably way more educated than me, so you can probably win on the information, right? I would say is that I think it's really unfair and really othering when people come in here and the minute you disagree or feel that somebody's being a little aggressive, you categorize them as snark. That's probably unfair, right? I'm being reasonable when there isn't a third party in here being a like peanut gallery shitting on the situation. Like we're having a very productive conversation. But when Mina came in, that's when the conversation devolved and he started dumping a bunch of points and he probably got aggressive before then. I would say
He did. That's probably why Mina came in here.
right, but like it could have been saved.
Honestly, I don't think that it could have been saved because that guy was.
Look, we were just screaming at each other. Me and you were just screaming at each other, and I was screaming at Mina. But you notice how the minute she left, it's been really calm. You see a like.
Well, yeah, but that's also because that I'm.
And what is snarking? What is snarking? But having like a group of people shit on one person, and you were having a group of people shit on one person.
I mean, I wasn't. Yeah,
you guys were kind of snarking.
That was not the intention. Actually, I think snarking's a little bit more than that. But
well, snarking isn't intentional always, right? You can do it without knowing that you're doing, right? Which is why you attribute it to other people.
I know, but I don't listen. No, the reason why when I say that people sound like snarkers, and the reason why I said that about the other person is because that he started bringing up drama shit out of nowhere, and it seemed like, and he also brought up a bunch of points that a lot of like snarker people seem to bring up. I could already tell as soon as he asked about the sniping kids that it seemed like he was going to go immediately to that clip ship that Bad Empanada did, making Lonerbox look like he said that he was like okay with Israel sniping kids or whatever, or that was fine, or like all this other like weird strawman shit, or like.
Did you see how that's kind of like Hassan behavior? Like Hassan will do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they're just anti-gen. They don't think Israel is a genocide, and the minute they categorize somebody as that they don't think Israel's a genocide. It's black and white. The minute they find that out, you are worthwhile of Cato Fumador doxing, and you don't like that, right?
No,
and neither
does
Lonerbox.
No,
but did you do that to other people? The minute he gave one opinion when he came in, you did. You said he was just like Bad Empanada, which is a doxer, just because he shared one opinion.
No, I said that I said I thought
he was
going to repeat the Bad Empanada slander, which is a little bit different than saying someone is like Bad Empanada.
What do you think Hassan has never said? Well, he's just like this other anti-genocide person.
Wait, don't you mean pro-genocide?
Not saying anti. Okay, well, anti-genocide isn't they think that it exists, but I'm saying anti-genocide is they think it doesn't exist.
Okay,
you think that there's no genocide.
No, my position is that I don't know that there's a genocide. My position is that I don't have enough information.
Researched. Okay.
My position is there's more info that I think that's
wholly. I think that's wholly ignorant, but I'm not going to fight you on that. I think you should bring Cheddar in. I think if he agrees to not bring up one drama with the Pixie stuff, where
I also don't want him to ask me about people's opinions or talk about propaganda trips or shit that's got nothing to do with me, because like I said, I didn't go to Israel.
Fair enough. Now, can you agree? Okay, so if he can say, hey, do you share this opinion with Loner? I think this Lonerbox opinion, whatever, I think you have. Do you have this Lonerbox opinion? If you were to ask it differently, would that be fair?
I mean, yeah, it would be fair as long as it's not going to turn into him talking just about what Lonerbox thinks, because it sounds like he just wants to talk to Lonerbox, which, by the way, I think he should. It'd be good content, and Loner absolutely would talk to him, too. Like, I tell you, I know Loner. I've watched Loner streams for a long time. I'm a pretty big fan of his. He absolutely will talk to people who disagree with him. Now, the person might get banned after he's done talking to them, depending on how the conversation goes. And if the person just starts bringing up his personal shit and lying and like saying crazy shit or like making references to personal life drama that involves him, then like, yeah, that person might get banned, as has happened in the past. But
look, I'll agree with you. I'll break bread. I'll break bread with you. I'll say, well, obviously, if he wilds out, fair. I can't say, hey, keep him around forever, no matter what he says. If he breaks the ceasefire, so to speak, right, and he starts bombing a bunch of Gazans in the server.
I mean, to be honest, listen, here's the deal, okay? My vision for this server is basically to be like, maybe not like to debate with me on stream, but my vision for this server is for it to, for the most part, be anything goes as long as you follow Discord TOS. However, I do have some lines, and some of them are, I don't want like any personal attacks against people based on their like immutable characteristics. So we had a guy in here who was attacking Dante, one of the Palestinians in this server, and they were going at his Palestinian identity, and like that guy left, but if he had kept doing that, if he had continued after I warned him to stop, then he would have been banned. Because like I'm not that shit's
I
not
think
okay.
that's fair.
But
I don't like the
otherwise,
ganging up. I
yeah,
don't like
like
the ganging up.
well, I mean, like that might
the-
happen if people are, but like I'm trying to get more people in here who have like a diversity of opinions. Because right now, most of the people in here are liberals.
This is what I would say. This is what I'm gonna say the bad name. This is what Destiny and even Loner Bunch does this on occasion. Is that, and Destiny used to try this back in 2022 before he did his thing. Is that if one person joins from another side, he would. No, actually he didn't do this, but I think it's good if you do this. Is that you have a locked room. If things get super contentious like that, you have a locked room.
Yeah, no, I'm
let's
aware.
Say Mina joins. Let's say Mina joins. Then bring me in, right, as like a fourth party to like balance
you're
things
talking
out.
about something else. Okay. I mean, no, honestly, listen. I apologize. I am still very new to this, and I should have just asked
That's okay.
people, hey, don't or like if you do you want other people to come in here? And if the answer was no, then I should have just disconnected everybody, because some people are fine with having other people in and other people are not. Now
I
Cheddar
think
didn't complain.
you probably didn't see that coming. You probably didn't see that coming. I think a lot of people with a good like ego on their shoulders probably don't want to go like, oh my god, I'm getting 3v1 right now. You probably sound like a bit of a soy. You know what I mean? Like, I can't handle this. You know what I mean? So I would say I think it's fair to let Cheddar back in. I'll step out, but I think he can probably agree to those rules. I had DM'd him. I said, look, this is what she wants. If you bring up Loner Box, don't bring up Loner Box as here's this opinion. Fight with Loner Box's opinion. Bring up like here's an opinion. I've heard Loner Box have it. Do you agree? I think that's a fair way to frame the conversation.
Yeah, like, and I also don't want to talk about.
Because I think you're smart. I think you're well read.
Thanks, and I don't want to talk about Destiny either. Okay, I don't want to talk about that shit either.
Probably fair. I think that's where things got heated.
Yeah,
I think
it
felt
was.
up. I think it got heated
because again, like, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking shadow box, especially since I made clear that the Destiny opinion that was brought up is not even one that I agree with.
Have you unbanned him?
I did unban him. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like I would rather just talk to you because you are considerably less ridiculous than that other guy was. Like, that other guy was like pretty kind of crazy right off the bat and attributing positions to me that I didn't even necessarily have. Like, I just want to talk about the issues. There are questions that I would like to ask to like certain pro-Palestinian people. I want to pick your guys' brains about things, especially you, because you were saying some interesting stuff in the chat about the Jews all getting, or like about the stolen land and stuff. And it sounds like you think that the Palestinians should be allowed to take back all the land from the river to the sea. Like, is that correct?
I'll make you a deal. Look, I am woefully uneducated. I could engage on this more. What I will do is I will make you a deal. Cheddar gets crazy. You can let in Mina, and then you let in me, and I will wrangle Cheddar, and Mina will yell at Cheddar. And we'll make it content. But for now, I think you and Cheddar can do just fine. I think he's more educated than I am, and is that fair? I'll step out, and I'll join waiting.
All right,
Kalinda. Good luck.
Thanks. Hello again, Cheddar.
Hello.
All right, let's behave this time.
Okay, I'm not gonna mention Loner Box, Destiny, whatever. I'm just gonna talk about your talking point specifically because I watched your call on Bisco yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just talk about the thing that you said, okay?
Okay.
So you said that Hamas hides under hospital. Give me a single evidence of that. Can you show me?
Yeah, the what was it? The Al Ali Hospital? Was that the
Okay, yeah, give me evidence. I'm waiting.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, where Mohammed Daf was killed. Or Mohammed Sinwar, rather. When Mohammed Sinwar was killed, and they dropped that bomb literally right at the entrance to that hospital, and like there was a hole in the ground, and you could find the tunnel entrance that was right there at that hospital. Or
Okay,
yeah. What?
I'm waiting for evidence.
Okay.
On screen.
What is acceptable evidence to you?
Third-party investigation,
What do you mean a
not
third?
Israel accounts, not Hamas accounts. Waiting.
Okay, just a second. Like, it's kind of boring that you're asking me to like look up sources on the spot. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. There was a
Also, sources are bad.
no, sources
Evidence
aren't
bad.
sources aren't bad. What was it? Was it France 24?
France 24,
Channels.
Zionist channel.
Really? Is that what we're gonna do?
You don't believe
Or was
France
El
24?
Shifa? I think this was it.
Have you said Al Ahli? Now it's Al Shifa.
Yeah, it was El
It's
Shifa
called Studio
Hospital.
Go.
Listen, dude, it's been like 3 fucking or 2 years, okay? I don't remember the names of all of the hospitals or like all of these different
France 24. This is like saying, "Oh, look at Nick Fuentes giving."
No,
evidence
it's
that
not.
Israel is-"
Wait, really? So this is what it's going to be. So like what sources are acceptable? Like are you
Source that is neutral. Let's say the UN.
I don't think the UN is neutral, dude.
Well, you think the UN is Hamas?
No, I don't. I don't think the UN is Hamas, but they're not neutral. The UN is absolutely not neutral. But I don't know if you'll find like neutral, like fully neutral sources with this
Who do you think is
conflict
more
in
neutral,
particular.
France 24 or the UN?
What?
Who's more neutral, France 24 or the UN?
I mean, France 24 is is like a mainstream news organization. I don't necessarily think that they're like I don't even know what you mean when you say that they're Zionist. Like what makes them Zionist to you?
Do you think Fox News is conservative?
Yeah, I do think Fox News is conservative because they have a conservative bias, but that's a lot. No, but again, what does it mean for an organization to be Zionist? Can you give me like some examples of like what that would look like?
They would report positively on Israel all the time.
Okay, so you're telling me that if I look up France 24 right now, I'm not going to find any reports from them about
Like, let's say, for example, they would say Israel neutralized a terrorist or threat that crossed the border, and then it would look into it in other reports, and you will find out it was a 5 years old that was killed. That's the kind of reporting I'm talking about.
Okay. And do you think that so I guess so you just don't think that like any video evidence whatsoever is
Show me the video evidence. Show it to me. I'm waiting.
Well, see, this is the problem, right? Is because that
Oh, it's a problem when you ask for video evidence.
no, the issue is that if I show you, oh, this
Show
was
me.
it. Al Shifa,
I'm
wait,
waiting.
hold on. I think this was it.
Go.
Our daily fact-checking segment. I'm joined in the studio by Catalina Marchand de Abreu.
I think this was it. I was trying to remember. It's been probably about a year since I saw this last. Like, what do you think that Hamas doesn't? Can you just like? Can we just cut to the chase here? Do you think Hamas like does not that they do not have a tunnel entrance under under Al Shifa?
Do have tunnels under hospitals. Yes. At the same time, when Israel strikes hospital and say Hamas was there, most of the time it's Hamas injured Hamas terrorist soldier people, whatever you want to say, and it's against international law to strike these people, even if it's Hamas terrorists. If they are getting medical
So,
attention in the hospital, it doesn't mean you can. Right.
hold on. So, with when they killed Mohammed Sinwar, the strike against him was probably illegal, or the strike outside that hospital was probably illegal because you're supposed to warn the hospital first. But if they had done that, then it would have been legal.
How many people died there?
I don't even think that many people died. They didn't actually hit the hospital itself. They dropped a bunker busting bomb that landed like outside the hospital at the entrance and it went right into the ground.
Oh, wait a second. So you say they have bombs that go under the ground, and then on Peace's call, you say, why doesn't Hamas have bunkers for Palestinians? Because they're gonna bomb it.
Do you think that there would be a big difference if Israel started building if Israel started bombing bomb shelters that were sheltering Gaza civilians? Do you think that that maybe might
How
look
do you build? How do you build?
what?
What? Every building material is banned by Israel. How are they gonna build?
How did Hamas build miles and miles and miles of tunnels with concrete?
Probably from Iran.
Okay, then they could clearly have built bomb shelters
Yeah,
for their
well,
civilians.
if they're normal, well, Iran is funding Hamas, the terrorists. Of course, they're gonna build things that serve them. But Israel is banning building materials for the regular civilians that can't build stuff for themselves.
Okay, first of all, you're gonna no. Now it's your turn to give me a source that Israel literally banned all building materials. I
Did
believe
Israel
that
ban cookies? Yes or no?
no, they did not ban cookies entirely.
They didn't.
They had a whitelist. Did you not see like Lonerbox's full
Did
report on
Israel ban
this?
cookies? Yes or no?
No, they didn't. They didn't ban cookies entirely. They had a whitelist, and certain kinds of cookies were able to get in, and others were not.
Why? Why
And
some
that-
cookies were banned?
What?
Why cookies were banned?
What did you say? I didn't. No,
Why cookies were banned?
they didn't ban cookies blanketly.
You can look it up. Just look up cookie bans. Destiny himself and Lonerbox agreed that the cookies were banned at some point.
No, there was a whitelist. There was a whitelist of products that were allowed to get in, and
I'm not
some
saying
cookies.
it's still banned. I'm not saying it is still banned to this day.
I'm aware, but there were some cookies that were not on the whitelist, so they couldn't get in. It depended on which cookies you were talking about. There were also cookies
Why?
that were made in Gaza.
What? Okay,
Because some of it was fucking punitive. That's
They
why.
bombed the bakeries that made these cookies.
What?
They bombed all the
Okay,
bakeries.
now you're just saying shit. You're gonna have to like give me a
I'm saying
source.
shit. Just look it up. Just you have Wikipedia or whatever in front of you. Just Google cookies ban Israel.
No, I'm not gonna Google cookies banned
Oh, so
Israel
you
because
don't want to
that's
show it.
not.
Of course.
No,
course you
because
don't.
that's not like I already know this, dude.
Okay, Google it then.
No, I mean I already know about the whitelist.
Okay, then Google it. Why are you hiding? Why did Israel ban cookies?
I'm not Googling why did Israel ban cookies.
No, I'm asking you, why did they ban cookies? You're saying they never did. Oh my god. So the first results, the second you typed anything is Destiny. And you're saying that you're not a Destiny fan. Come on.
I never said I wasn't a Destiny fan. I watch Destiny sometimes, but I don't care. I'm not here to talk about Destiny. Don't break
Okay,
the
I'm not
rule,
either.
dude.
I'm just saying that the cookies thing is real.
Yeah, it is, but it's not what you're saying that it is. They didn't say no
Why did
cookies
they ban
allowed.
cookies? Let's say half of the cookies were why?
Because they were doing because part of the blockade was punitive. And there was a period of time where they were being ridiculous with the stuff that was not or was allowed in. Part of the blockade was punitive.
Okay, so here's the question. Did you do any independent research besides watching Lonerbox and Destiny?
Yeah, I have sometimes a little. Why?
Okay, then why are you so scared of researching things on stream right now?
Because the thing is that I'm going, if I Google this, which I can and I will, then it's going to come up with like a bunch of random shit. And it actually takes a lot to find the necessary shit for this fucking thing. Yeah, it is. It's going to come up with the stuff that you want me to see. And then I have to dig further into it. Because there's so much bullshit surrounding this conflict.
You can search cookies, Gaza, Israel times. Whatever you want to look at.
I mean, you were trying to give me the terms.
I'm saying you just said it. You are so scared of searching that because you know that you're gonna see pages and articles saying that Israel banned.
Yeah,
cookies,
I'm aware. Yes, I know that they are, but that's not.
Banned cookies, banned chips. Why would they do that? Other than punishing.
Did you not hear me literally say because part of the blockade was punitive?
And you defend Israel for that.
No, I don't defend
Israel's
Israel
moral-
for that specific. Why are you strawmanning me?
I thought you said, "Oh, the lefties are pretending like Israel is the worst country."
I
Israel
mean,
is bad.
yeah, they do. And they're not the worst
So
country.
you're agreeing that Israel banned cookies and chips from children, and you don't think that's bad?
Yeah, I do. Okay, hold on.
Moral country
Wait,
do that?
stop. Let me ask you a question. Do you understand that something can be bad without it being literally the worst thing in existence? Does this compute for you?
Worst thing, do you know what the worst thing in existence? Doing a genocide.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I'm not convinced that it's a genocide.
Okay, so you say that people like Hassan say that Israel is as good as Nazi Germany. Didn't you say that on Piece of
No,
Stream?
Hassan thinks Israel is just like Nazi Germany, which, by the way, would you like
Okay,
to
well,
have?
that's what I just said. Do you think that's yes or no? Did he say that?
Yes, Hassan has said shit like
Okay.
that. And
Do
I
you
don't
th-
agree
okay.
with that. I think that's
And you
fucking
said that-
insane.
You said Hassan thinks that all countries should intervene, even militarily, in Israel.
Hassan tweeted that he thinks that Israel should
Okay,
be
I'm saying
overthrown
that's what he
militarily.
said, right?
Yeah?
If he thinks that Israel's committing genocide, the biggest, the most heinous crime that any country can do, and you think he's justified in saying all of this?
I mean, yeah, if he thinks that, but the thing is that I think that he's wrong, and I think that he's wrong in thinking Israel's like Nazi Germany because Hassan doesn't know anything about Nazi Germany,
Well, all
as
the
is evidenced
historians,
by
all
his.
the Holocaust historians, all the genocide historians, all of these people are wrong. Lorna Box and Destiny.
What the
are
fuck?
one
What are
who
you?
should be-
What are you talking about?
How many historians say it's a genocide?
I don't think that as many historians as you think say that it's a genocide.
How many historians just said it's not a genocide?
I don't fucking know, dude. Because
it,
then
or
I
you
don't
can even name
necessarily
one.
care about these appeals to authority. I can make
Can you
up my
name
own
one historian
mind.
outside of Israel that said it's not a genocide?
I don't know if historians have even
Well, you can
necessarily
even name
really
one.
weighed. The only historian that I can think of who weighed in on this was Omar Bartov. He's the only like historian of like Nazi Germany who has weighed in on this. Most of them haven't
he's a
said
Nazi?
anything that I've seen, at least not any of the ones that I know.
So all the people who said it's a genocide, the historians, the UN officials, the people who study this, all of them are wrong. Lorna Box is right. Because Hassan is bad. That's what I'm saying.
No,
What do you
it's
think?
why do you think that this has anything to do with Hassan?
Because you on Pisco, you went on Pisco and said Hassan is saying Israel is like Nazi Germany. You said that. You brought him up. I didn't.
Yes.
I'm
Do you
responding to your point.
hold on. Do you think Israel's like Nazi Germany? Do you
If
think
they
that?
If Israel was doing what they are doing today, 50 years ago, they would do the same thing. Yes.
What?
They were doing it 50 years ago, where they weren't as much media attention.
Wait, hold on. Who was doing it 50? What? What are you talking? Can you say that? Do you think Israel is like Nazi Germany? Yes or no?
Yes, I think that if they can do more, they would have. It's the media, the coverage, the
Okay.
internet.
I think that's insane
do,
and ahistorical, and I think you probably don't know anything about Nazi Germany, if that's what you
Why did they gather all the people and the like say, oh, we're gonna give you food, we're gonna give you food, the GFH or whatever, we're gonna give you food, and they start mass shooting them.
Do you hold on just a second? 1 minute. I need to close my door.
Okay, so I looked up what you just mentioned. You say Omar Bertov, that is what you listed.
Yeah, no, I think he's the only one that I know of who's come out and said that it's a genocide. I don't think any other Holocaust historians that I'm aware of have said anything about whether or not it's a genocide.
Saying he's lying?
No, I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying that people can have like a different opinion than
Who
me.
knows more, Omar Bertov or Lorna Box?
Bro, I'm not interested in doing this appeal to authority shit. I would rather talk about. You want to talk about Israel
Who
being
knows
like
more, Omar Bertov or you?
probably Omar Bartov, but that doesn't mean that he knows.
Okay, and
Hold
he
on.
says it's a genocide.
No.
Why do you know? Why do you think you know better?
Okay, first of all, it's possible for somebody who knows a bunch of shit to be wrong about other stuff.
Okay, if it's possible for one person to be wrong, why there are hundreds of people that are wrong, and you are right? That's the
Bro,
question.
I'm not interested in doing this appeal to authority bullshit. I would rather just talk
It's-
about the
but
facts. If
Who
all you're
would
gonna
you appeal
do,
to?
no,
Maybe I'm not,
if
not
that's what you're doing, if
You
all you're
appeal to
gonna,
authority when you go to the doctor, don't
if
you?
all
Go
your,
to the doctor. Do you appeal to authority or not?
no, that's not
The doctor
necessarily an
tells you
appeal to
something,
authority,
don't
but
you
that's a
appeal to
single
authority?
thing. No, if
If you
all
say,
you're gonna
I'm
do,
gonna do my own research, Mr. Doctor, I'm gonna do my own research. I think COVID is not actually real because I read Temple said that. Would you do that or would you trust the doctor?
no, I would not do that because I also know that I don't really know
Okay,
anything
so you do
about
appeal to
medical
authority
shit.
too. So appealing to authority is not bad. all the
No,
time,
it's
right?
not bad, but in this case, it's very possible to do your own research. It depends on what the fucking situation is and if you have access to the information. Okay? And this conflict has a lot of bullshit surrounding it and a lot of misinformation.
So you don't think Omar Bertov has access to
Do
information?
I think that he went and dug through all the research and did all the shit? No, probably not. I don't think that most people
Probably more
did.
than you, right? Probably more than you.
Bro, is this his research topic? I'm pretty sure he researches the Holocaust. No, you just trust him because he's a historian on one genocide.
Better credentials that random YouTubers. Is that hard to understand?
No, it's not hard to understand, but like I don't know why you're here then. Like why? Just so that you can yell at me and be like, "Oh my god, you don't agree with the experts? Wah, you're wrong." Like you don't actually want to talk about any of it.
I didn't say that. I said that I asked you, what's your evidence that there's no genocide going on? And you said, this is my own research. I watched Box, and he told me it's not. And on the other hand, I gave you actual historians. I gave you actual historians, and you're giving me Box.
That's not the only thing.
Okay, who else?
No, I'm not talking about people in particular. I'm saying that there are.
Give me your opinion then. Give me what made you think that this is not a genocide aside from watching streamers saying it's not. Give me, where did you find that? How did you research it?
Okay, I'm gonna talk for a bit now. Please don't interrupt me. Okay?
Okay.
Genocide has a very specific meaning. It requires dolus specialis, which is a highly specialized intent to wipe out a group of people. Every time we look back in history and we look at genocides, we can see plain as day the intent. If we look at what's happening in Sudan, where people go in and they basically pull people out of their houses and shoot them in the face, or in Ukraine, in Bucha, or in Izium, where they did that shit, or in like the Holocaust, where they literally put people on trains and they sent them to like to death camps where they were marched into gas chambers and they were killed, or in Rwanda where they used machetes and they went around murdering women and children, or in Srebrenica where they lined people up and shot them. That's not what you see in Gaza. Gaza's a war. Shut up! I'm not done. I'm not finished. Gaza is a war, okay? It is not the same thing. The problem that I have with saying that everything Israel is doing is genocide or whatever is that a lot of the times Israel's war crimes occur in very muddy circumstances where like it's the middle of a battle, and like when Shireen Abu Akleh got murdered, that was literally in the middle of the raid on Jenin refugee camp, and this one asshole soldier was like, oh hey, there's a lady with a press badge. I'm gonna shoot her in the face because I fucking can. And yeah, that was really fucking horrible. And that guy should be prosecuted for that. And he wasn't. And that's not good. Okay? I don't think, but you know, stop. Yes, I agree. There are many such cases, and I don't think that that's good. However, that's not the same. That's not like you have to give me more than that. And I don't think the GHF shit necessarily counts either. That was clearly and obviously incompetence based on all the kind of shit that we see on the ground. Like the fact that the private military people that were there that were working with GHF, like those dumb fuck Americans, didn't know how to zero their fucking rifles. The fact that just the way that they carried it out, like the whole GHF thing, just like it just reeked of like ridiculous levels of incompetence. And then on top of that, you had these crazy people in the IDF like the Yehuda Vosh guy who basically told his soldiers that these people, that like certain parts of the that like there were like kill zones or whatever. And you know what? It's very possible that when more information comes out, and I do need more information and more investigations are done, that like someone like Yehuda Vosh probably could have, maybe he does have genocidal intent, and maybe he ordered his soldiers to kill Palestinians because he's an insane settler and he actually did want to genocide them. I'm open to that possibility. But right now, I don't have enough information, and I'm not going to say for 100% certainly that it is a genocide. That could possibly be more likely to be a genocide than like people who were saying it since October 8th that it was a genocide, or like to like basically back at the beginning of the war, because Israel was doing a lot of bombing against an enemy that co-locates in civilian areas and then also tells their fucking civilians to not tell people that there were Hamas nearby, or to not tell people that Hamas was shooting rockets from like the town square, and also controls what journalists are allowed to say when they report from Gaza. Okay, I'm done now.
Okay, I have 3 points. Number one, don't you think Israel has been pushing people out and out and out, farther away for the areas that they want to occupy?
Are you talking about in
Yeah.
the West Bank? Yeah, I think Israel's doing a slow moving ethnic cleansing in the West Bank.
Oh, sounds like when you say that the other genocidal regimes did.
No,
okay?
because genocide and ethnic
Okay, I'd
cleansing.
like to talk for 5 minutes. Can I
Okay,
talk?
genocide and ethnic cleansing aren't the same thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So that's number one. Number two, interesting how there's so many IDF soldiers, so many generals, so many war cabinet members that express explicit genocidal intent, and yet Israel is not committing a genocide. Number three, do you think the Hannibal directive was activated on October 7th?
Do you know what the Hannibal Directive is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
For the Hannibal directive, it directs the IDF to do anything in their power to stop the opposing side, whether it's Hamas or whoever, from causing damage by capturing hostages or whatever. So even if it means killing their own soldiers.
It is. It's specifically for soldiers. It's not for civilians.
That's what I'm saying. Didn't I say even if it means killing their soldier? Didn't I say
Yeah,
that
you
or not?
did, but at the start it sounded like you were saying from like doing damage or what have you. It
Yeah, but I said
basically,
even if it means killing their soldier. I said that. So
yes, at the
don't
end you did say
it.
that. Yeah, it's about specifically.
Okay, I said that.
soldiers.
And why are you saying that I'm wrong?
Because at the start of the thing you were saying that prevents them from like doing damage or whatever. Sorry, my bad. I should have let you finish.
Even if I didn't say even if it means killing civilian. I said even if it means killing soldiers. I literally said word by word.
Okay. Like,
Do you think it was activated? Yes or no?
I can't remember if I don't think so, or like it might have been for the soldiers, but that doesn't matter.
You think Yoav Galan was lying when he said
most of
it was activated?
most of the people who were kidnapped on October 7th were civilians.
I know, but there are about like 400 Israeli IDF member was killed, right?
Yeah. Wait. Do you think those guys were killed by the IDF?
No, I didn't say it was killed by the IDF. You said most of them were civilian. I said yes, most of them civilian, and about 400 IDF members.
Yeah, no, I mean, do you think the IDF people who were killed on October 7th were killed by the IDF and by friendly fire?
I think there's between 1 and whatever. So we agree that they killed at least 1 person?
Yeah, I believe the actual number is like between like 12 and 14 or something. There were like a couple of investigations done into this.
So why did you on Pisco say that these people saying the Hannibal directive being activated is an anti-Semitic lie?
Did I mention that the Hannibal directive on Pisco's stream? I don't remember that. My main issue was no, that I don't recall that.
You were in Hutch's stream, and Hutch said he had a friend who said that Hannibal directive was activated, and he stopped being friends with him.
No, he was talking about people who say that the majority of the people, or at least half of the people on October 7th, were killed by the IDF. That's what he was referring to when he said that.
That's not what I'm saying though. Am I saying this? I'm not saying that.
No, yeah, you're not, but that's what Hutch was talking about. That's a conspiracy
Okay,
theory.
I'm saying that saying anything about the Hannibal Directive being activated is anti-Semitic.
Okay, when did I say that? People often get what the Hannibal Directive is wrong, by the way, and they usually oftentimes will bring that up as part of like a broader conspiracy talking point to say that Israel killed most of the people on October
I never
7th.
said it. I think Israel maybe killed like 10, 20 people by the Hannibal Directive. Do you agree?
I mean, I don't know if it was by the Hannibal Directive. I think that it was friendly fire, that it was an accident, or at least that was my general impression.
Well, Yoav Galan said, yes, I activated the Hannibal Directive on October 7th. I don't think many people died of that. I don't have a number. Let's say at least one person died of that. As Yoav Galan himself, you know
Okay.
Yoav Galan.
Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
also being told too, by the way, like I know like people who were in the IDF that know like there was no.
You know people who are in the IDF. You know
Yeah.
war criminals.
Do you think everyone in the IDF is a war criminal?
Yes, right now, yes.
Okay, well, that's kind of insane, but whatever. That do you realize that would be like me saying
Anyone in
that?
Hamas is terrorist? Yes or no?
Yeah, but we've already had that discussion.
that's
I don't
insane.
think that the IDF and
Secretary-
Hamas are the
secretaries in
same.
Hamas are terrorists.
I think that if you're in Hamas's militant wing, then you are part of a terrorist organization. It doesn't mean that you have
What
done
if
a
a doctor-
terrorism.
What if a doctor helping as if the Hamas doctor just treating Hamas soldiers?
What?
Do you think doctors treating Hamas soldiers are terrorists?
No. Did you not hear what I just said? I said I think if you're in Hamas's militant wing, as in you are a fighter and you go out and you pick up a gun, not if you're a medic, okay? Then
It's
I
like
think
Elon Musk, right?
you are part of a terrorist organization.
Did Ela Klein pick up a gun, or yes or no?
No, Hila Klein's not a terrorist. And also
Did she pick up a gun, yes or no? You said you think if you pick up a gun, then that makes you a terrorist.
No, I didn't. That's not what I said. Are you not listening? I said if you are part of Hamas's militant wing and you pick up a gun, you are a part of a terrorist organization. And then if you go on to murder civilians, then you are a terrorist.
Let's say a doctor who was part of like just treating Hamas soldiers picked up a gun and went to October 7th. Would he be a terrorist?
Yes, if he went to October 7th and killed civilians.
And what about IDF soldiers who were appointed secretaries but picked up a guns and went on a raid?
She didn't. Okay. This is the only time. This is the only time that we are going to talk about Ethan or Hila Klein, because again, you're doing it. You're trying to bring other people into this, and I think this is very silly. My understanding is that no, she went on a raid. It doesn't like
Didn't
she
you have
never.
picture of her holding gun?
I don't think that she ever said she held a gun. She literally sat in the
There are
car.
pictures of her holding guns.
Yeah, but that's not the story that she told with regards to the raid. She sat in the car, and she also shouldn't have been allowed to.
Of her holding a gun, yes or no?
Yeah, of course there are, because she served in the IDF.
Okay,
she
doesn't
probably
that mean
had.
She's a war criminal then.
No, it doesn't make this. No, it does.
Patents because she's holding guns.
No, it does not, bro.
Okay,
You
do
didn't
think the Yemeni that Hassan interviewed is a terrorist?
I don't know if he's a terrorist, but I think he's a Houthi, or at the very least, he does PR for the Houthis because.
Do you know what sect of Islam Houthis follow?
They are Shia.
That guy is Sunni. How is he Houthi?
I'm not saying he's part of the Houthi family.
I didn't say he's part of the Houthi family, but
or the Houthi clan or whatever.
How is he Sunni and fighting for a Shia?
I never said that he was fighting for them. I said he probably is doing PR for them. It seems like that's what he's doing.
Why would he do a PR for an opposing?
I mean, have you seen it? Oh, gee, I don't know, dude. Why is Iran supporting Hamas, even though Iran is Shia and Hamas is Sunni? Like, I don't think this matters.
Are you comparing the whole government to a 21-year-old kid?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that like people can work together if their interests align. And the Sunni Shia divide doesn't really matter
he
when it
said-
comes to
Well, he
fucking
said he's
over
not a
Israel.
terrorist. So why would he? Why would you think he would be?
I
lying?
never did I say that he was a terrorist? I said it looks to me based on his Twitter and his
Is it
conversation with
because he's holding
Hassan.
guns?
No, you're not listening to me. How much longer? Like, are you just gonna keep misrepresenting what I'm saying?
I'm asking a question. I didn't say that you said it. I'm asking a question. Is it because he's held gun? And you can say no, and I say okay. That's a question. That's not misrepresentation.
No, it's misrepresentation because that you think that I said that holding a gun makes you a terrorist when that's not what I said.
That was a question from me. I didn't state that you said that. I said, do you think? That's a question. And you can say no, and I can agree.
No, I don't think so. I think he probably does PR for the Houthis based on like the shit that he posts on Twitter and the stuff that he said in
Did
that
he ever
Hassan
say
interview.
anything about the Houthis on his Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah, he did. He posted videos like glazing them for bombing ships. It was literally on his Twitter account.
He say he's part just because he's glazing them. Is he part?
He
is
was like,
Hassan
he
boss-
said, ship, we bombed a ship. And then he posted this cute little video.
Is Box part of the IDF? Just because he glazed them bombing Iran or doing the pager attack?
No, okay, dude, there's a difference between glazing a group and
That's what he
saying,
said, because he's glazing them. You said he's part of the Houthi because he's glazing them.
no, I did not say that. He said, we, ship, we bombed a ship. Also, when he was talking to Hassan, he said that he got to go and talk to the hostages, the Galaxy
No,
Leader
that was the
hostages.
translation. That was a video he watched that he didn't even understand. He watched a video on TikTok, an old video that has nothing to do with the Galaxy ship or whatever. Of like
He
Chinese
said,
or whatever.
bro, he told Hassan that he got to talk to the Galaxy Leader people in his interview when Hassan interviewed him
And
on
there
his
was
stream.
a second interview on Noah Sampson's video where he was asked by someone who speaks Arabic and he translated, and it was a totally different translation. Do you think it might have been a misunderstanding, yes or no?
No, I don't think that it was a misunderstanding.
You
Or
think he himself was part of the people who took hostages?
No, I don't. I said that I think that he went and got to talk to them. And I think that
He
if you-
didn't. Oh my god. He
Why?
literally said he watched a video where he thinks that he watched a video and he using the royal we as in Yemenis.
Also, by the way, just so you know, Hassan thought that guy was a Houthi. And he
So what?
continued to think
what?
it. But when he
Houthis
had
were
him on
even-
his stream,
Houthis weren't a terrorist group that on the day he talked with him.
yeah, I know they weren't designated as a terrorist group by the United States, but I don't care
No.
about that. They match my
Well,
definition of
but now you're calling them
terrorism.
terrorist group because the U.S. designated them as terrorist
No,
group.
that's not why I'm calling them a terrorist group. They match my definition of a terrorist group. They match
Oh.
my definition of what terrorism is. I have a definition, a personal definition, that if a group does it, I will consider them to be terrorists.
Okay, well, I might, based on my own definition, I consider IDF terrorists.
Yeah, I know. That's where we
They
disagree.
terrorize people. They bomb. They snipe children in the head. They disagree that they snipe
I
children in
think
the head.
I think that if you want to say that there are
Why did you laugh about that?
I think no, I didn't laugh. I think if you want to say that there are if you want to call individuals in the IDF terrorists, like the ones who shoot kids in the head,
Yeah, there are
you
like
can.
100 individuals. That's too much. 1,000 individual. That's too much.
Okay, well, I don't think that a lack of accountability in an organization makes them a terrorist organization.
Did you
Because-
laugh at children being sniped in the head? Yes or no?
Me?
Yes.
No. What the fuck are you talking about?
Did you laugh alongside Box when he left?
Why are we talking about Lonerbox? I told you we're not going to talk about
I'm
Lonerbox.
asking about you. I said, did you laugh alongside?
No, and also Lonerbox didn't laugh, but I'm not going
He
to
did.
talk
There's a
about that.
clip of him. There's a video of him laughing.
Yeah, I don't think that you understand
I don't understand
how
laughing.
people. No, I don't think you understand people's reactions to things. But whatever, I'm not going to get into that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. No, I did not laugh when I.
You think Ethan Klein is Zionist? Yes or no?
I don't want to talk about Ethan Klein. I'm not Ethan Klein. I want to talk about me.
And then when you called into Pisco, why did you only talk about Destiny, Hassan, and Ethan?
Because I was trying to talk to Pisco about left-wing
Oh, you're talking about
anti-Semitism.
Pisco, but all you talk about is Ethan?
I wanted to talk to Pisco about left-wing anti-Semitism, and I was using Hassan as an example of somebody who I think
I
represents
wanna talk
left-wing
about
anti-Semitism.
I want to talk about liberals defending genocide, like Lauren Box.
Why don't you just talk about liberals?
Yeah, okay, liberals. Lauren Box is
I'm
an
a
example.
liberal.
Ethan Klein's example. You're not. Who are you? You're not known. I only
Yeah,
know a
but
few
I
because
don't.
of polls you make on Pisco stream.
Why don't you just ask me what I think?
Why do
Otherwise,
you have
you're
Destiny stream second on your most visited websites?
because I watch Destiny sometimes.
Okay, that's why I'm asking you, because if Destiny is on your second most watched, then you probably
I pinned that because that I visit. Yeah, because I hang out in DGG sometimes.
okay, so you probably hold a lot of similar opinions.
Some of them, yeah, but Destiny doesn't talk about Israel Palestine anymore. Destiny
Yeah,
talks.
because he can't defend it anymore.
Yeah, I'm aware, dude. You think that you've mind read all of these people, and you think that's the reason why they stopped
So
talking
why
about
did
this
they
stuff.
all stop all of a sudden?
They didn't all
defending
stop all of
Israel?
a sudden.
Didn't Hutch say yes? He thinks it's genocide. Did
Yeah,
say
he
that?
did, but I don't care.
So Hutch is a dumbass.
No, he's not a dumbass. I just disagree with him.
Okay. And when Hassan says a genocide, he's anti-Semitic. But when
No,
Hutch
that's
does,
not
that's the fake news.
bro. You really don't. Are you like capable of having nuanced thoughts? Do you think that like did you even listen to my conversation with Pisco? Did I say to Pisco, man, Hassan doesn't think that it's a genocide, or Hassan thinks it's a
He
genocide?
said he's anti-Semitic because he laughed when when this Jewish girl was asking Kamala about the October 7 rapes.
No, that's not.
And he
What?
laughed. At the same time, you have Laura Box laughing at snipe children.
Bro, I never said that. Did you
Then what did
even
you say?
did you even watch the conversation? I never said anything about Hassan laughing about that. That's not what I said.
So you said just because she's Jewish, he thought she was you wanna ask about Israel. When was that? Did you say that? Yes or no?
Yeah, I did say that, but that's not
What
the
was
first.
her question? What was her question?
Her question was about Israel.
Yes, exactly, about the rapes in Israel.
Yeah, but here's the thing, dude.
Yes, so
Don't
why
you
are you
think?
saying I'm lying?
No, I'm not saying that you're lying, but like that's not how I phrase the question. I phrase the question as like the fact that I don't think that it's good. Oh Jesus Christ! Now Ogre Boy's here too.
Okay, let's Ogre Boy in. I'm gonna
no, because he just joined the waiting room and then he left.
No, he's here. I'm gonna leave to let him in.
Oh my fucking god.
Bye.
Are you gonna be a little bit more reasonable than that ridiculous dude? Also, hello. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Happy Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, don't you
Where to
like
begin?
Die Hard? You literally said so on your fucking thing. Every time I try to bring it up, you.
That was just very abrupt. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I hope that you're gonna be more good faith than that guy was.
I don't know where to begin. I just heard a lot of different things.
I mean, I would
let's start
actually.
with the very last. Let's start with the very last thing that was said. So you mentioned during Pisco's stream, you were talking about the thing that Hassan laughed at, and you said that that was an example of anti-Semitism.
No,
right?
I said that it's an example of anti-Semitism to assume that because that somebody is visibly Jewish, it means that they're going to talk about Israel. I think, and
well,
Pisco
hold
said
on.
that was a
Hold on.
microaggression, which I
Well,
think is a
but if
fair
you would've-
statement.
So hold on. So if you would have told the whole story, though, do you think it would have maybe somebody would have looked at it slightly differently? So for example, what was?
No,
do you
hold
remember
on.
what the point? Hold on. Do you remember what the point of that town hall was?
I mean, wasn't it one where people asked Kamala a bunch of questions about stuff?
I mean, that's typically the point of like all town halls.
Yeah,
I'll
I
give you
know,
that.
but
That's
it
kinda
wasn't it
easy.
about multiple things? It wasn't just about Israel, was it? I
It
can't
was
remember.
specifically. Well, hold on. It was specifically about undecided voters. Period. Right. That was the
Okay.
point of. So prior, about 5 minutes to that, him and Felix Biederman, the
Oh,
Chapo guy.
Jesus. Yeah, okay.
They're both riffing. Probably, you could argue, probably very, not very tactfully, right? Being very crude. But in the course of that riffing, at one point, Hassan basically says something to the effect of, "Oh, hi, I'm a undecided voter, and my thing that I'm undecided about is safety on college campuses, and that's the thing that I'm holding on to." He had some joke that he made about that. And then the woman that went on stage that he ended up laughing at ended up coming up and saying literally almost bar for bar exactly what he predicted. And he was laughing at the ridiculousness of like the bit
It
ended up
wasn't.
coming into reality.
It wasn't. It
Yes, it
wasn't.
was.
Hold on. The point that was being made was not about him laughing about that. It was about the fact that he saw that this woman was Jewish, and then he made an assumption about what her question was going to be. It doesn't matter that he turned out to be
No,
right.
no. Hold
It's
on.
like
No,
if
to be fair, hold on.
somebody.
You're wrong. The joke was that before the woman ever stepped up to the mic, he came up with this joke of a scenario where he said someone was going to probably say something ridiculous like X. And then a woman came up at I'm an undecided voter and I can't decide between you and Trump. And here is my undecided thing. And then she also happened to have like the IDF dog tags and shit like that. That is
I
what
thought
made
she had
it
a
a
Star
ridiculous
of David
moment.
necklace or something else that
Pretty
made her
sure it was dog
visibly
tags, but
Jewish.
either way. Pretty sure it was dog tags, but either way, right? So if you came up with something where you thought this is a ridiculous scenario that we're riffing about, and then you go on to have this moment where the literal like life imitates art.
Do you have
that laughing at that is anti-Semitic?
That alone is not the only, as I continuously told Pisco over and over again, there's a bunch of things that make Hassan anti-Semitic in much the same way as, like, for example, Teuton, or Junior, as you hilariously referred to him when he was on Lonerbox's stream. He liked to continuously claim over and over again angrily that, like, Hassan only called settlers inbred and therefore it's okay. But the issue is that when you take that in context with all the other shit that Hassan says about Israel and Israelis, then it kind of seems kind of yikesy.
Well, hold on. So first of all, no, so yikesy is fine. I would agree, right? If not for being a longtime viewer and knowing that he even called during the Ahmaud Arbery situation.
Yeah, I get it. If he calls everyone inbred, okay.
Yes. So again, this isn't even the thing that I was going to talk about, by the way, but I'm going with the most recent thing before I got into the channel. The whole idea is that if you grab certain things, you could say, hey, tactless son of a bitch, fucking crude motherfucker, god awful person, right?
I think there's
a lot of these things when they're grabbed onto and used as tropes like that to say, look at this thing he said in a vacuum, then yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to turn around and go, God, this guy sucks. But then when you take more of a 30,000 foot view, you can start to go, oh wait, so he wasn't trying to suggest something innately wrong about the immutable characteristics of Jewish people. He was talking about a particular people with a particular behavior that were trashing supplies and aid that was supposed to go in to feed starving people. Like that was that in that moment, he said those people, and he used the term inbred. So I don't know. I don't know. That is something I would defend. Yes.
Like I said, if Hassan had a more reasonable position on Israel, and if he didn't constantly compare them to Nazi Germany and like talk about them and like just be fucking utterly insane on this and didn't defend terrorist organizations, then I wouldn't care. But otherwise, yeah, like I said, it just comes across as yikesy.
There's a lot of things I find to be very yikesy. So I at least in that I can find some common ground. Sure. Okay, fine. He has takes about Israel that you don't like. That was one of the only things. I would ask you this though.
The Nazi Germany comparisons in particular trigger me, or people saying that what's going on in Gaza is like the Holocaust also trigger me. That shit is real stupid. And I especially dumb when Hassan says it, because Hassan has proven, especially lately, that he doesn't know anything about Nazi Germany at all.
So hold on, and I think I came to this conclusion while I was watching our fellow beloved bald liberal in the stream where he was watching. It was the day you popped in. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before.
Can I just ask you a question? I'm just genuinely curious. Why do you still watch Hutch? It feels like if you're
I watch
not-
it. I'm a politics nerd. No, I'm
you're
a
not
politics
beating
nerd.
the allegations.
What allegations?
The allegations that you're kind of obsessed with him because you always tweet about him.
He cut me off on Twitter because he couldn't stop himself from replying to me, and he always wanted the last word, which is not something. If there's breath in my fucking body and I still have a Twitter account, I will argue with whomever the fuck I want. That's for starters.
Yeah, I know. I argue with people on Twitter.
He cut me off because he was trying to stop himself from interacting with me. Period.
Yeah, he did because he felt like
as far as the rest goes,
bad faith.
Because I was bad faith. Okay, sure, but does that mean I'm obsessed just because?
No. I'm not.
He can't stop himself from interacting with me on Twitter, and because of that, and he still, I think every couple of weeks he still brings me up. So yeah, I'm the one that's obsessed.
I think he does.
He's on vacation, mentioning to his. He talks about when he's on vacation, and he's mentioning to his chat that he swings by my timeline just for old time's sake.
To be fair, by the way, it's not just you. Hutch.
It's not just me.
No. Hutch engages with Twitter lefties a lot more than he should. He has admitted this. You're just
sure.
Like I'm in his Discord, and he will post like insane shit that he sees on Twitter, and then he'll be like, "I should stop engaging on Twitter."
Yeah. I'm glad he's decided to adopt the drama slop label, and he's playing video games now. As long as he's not running defense for like Kamala's 2024 blunder and telling just outright bullshit about Gaza, I'm good with him. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I mean, he still thinks that I don't necessarily agree with him, but not for the same reasons that you disagree with him. I think he still thinks Kamala's 2024 thing was good. But anyway, never mind. I don't want to. Let's actually.
No, I did have a question though, because of something else that you said earlier, right?
Okay.
Take any businesses you want, right? Kinko's. Okay. If I start allowing all of the, I don't enforce it, but I start not paying any attention when all of my employees are showing up like 15 minutes late every day, right? Just they think like a couple start doing it, and then before you know it, like half my employee base starts doing it, and then before you know it, all of my employees are showing up 15 minutes late, and I never correct them, or if I do, it's usually like a very empty, toothless, like I don't really do anything to punish the severity of like everybody showing up late. At a certain point, doesn't that kind of imply, doesn't that convey that not only do I not give a shit and I'm okay with it, right? Wouldn't you say that's fair?
I think there's a difference between not giving a shit about something and intending for something to happen.
Intending for something to happen. So now if you take that a couple steps further and you have something that's supposed to be as regulated like a military, right? To the point where every outcome has to be calculated for, every bad deed has to be punished. Right. So if nothing else, you got to say it's not a bug, it's a feature at a certain point.
No,
if you are doing nothing to combat the fact that you have doctors coming that go over there, literally risk their lives from the not just your Twitter lefties, right? But you have these people that studied for years, go out their ass in debt. They go over there because they know that their skills are needed. They oftentimes get starved and lose weight and come back skinny as fuck in the process because they have to ration whatever food they can take with them.
Yeah, okay.
And when they come back, they talk about the fact that in numerous different med centers, trauma centers, they all see very similar wounds to the chest, wounds to the head on like children. So at a certain point, right, when you see enough of this, I would have to assume that any modern military, if they have the ability, if some dipshit like me can find out that these things are occurring, right? They would have to know.
Do you think that Israel just has like a crack team of like child killing snipers they're like, hey,
do you think it takes a ridiculous amount of skill to hit an 8-year-old with a rifle?
Do you think that every
yes or no?
I mean, think that it takes a I think it takes like however much skill it would take to hit like anybody with a gun.
Okay, so no. So to answer your question with your own question, I don't think they have a crack team of, but I do think they have a lot of people watching a nebulous perimeter, and if they happen to see people that are scavenging for food, looking for clothes,
Okay,
trying to see if there's anything that they can
hold on,
find
can
from their
I-
leftover ruins of their home, then yes, they do take free shots.
Can I hold on? Can I listen? Okay. I think that there are absolutely scenarios where that would be happening, especially in the Yehuda Vosh fucking Killzone shit. However, I will also ask you, and I'm just wondering if you know this. Do you think that it's possible, in a scenario where we have urban warfare, for like kids to get like caught in the crossfire, or for like bullets to go through walls and hit kids? Do you think that any of these kinds of things can happen, or do you think that these kids were all shot intentionally by IDF soldiers trying to get a free shot?
I think your beginning premise is possible, but I also think based on this was a fun one, right? I know we're trying to get away from talking about streamers and shit, but I'm also going to mention a particular conversation that I know you remember, where Disinfo Tracker talked to Loner Box, right? Do you recall that one?
Yeah, I do recall that one. That was really dumb. That was
It was really dumb, but the fun thing is
also
like,
Disinfo
we're all-
Tracker misrepresented what Loner thought, and that's why Loner kicked him out of that call, by the way.
Sure. But towards the end of that conversation, because I only saw Disinfo's cut of it, so be that as it may, right? I'm not taking everything there for gospel. I'm just pointing out to one very specific moment. So in the course of that conversation, as they were going back and forth, and Disinfo ended up mentioning that one doctor's name, whom I don't recall at the moment, right? But in mentioning that one dude, Loner Boy got really upset because he was saying that that's ridiculous and that a trauma surgeon wouldn't be able to tell anything by just looking at the wounds. And actually, that's not true at all.
I mean,
because if you look, you can tell a lot of information about that shit by angle of entry, size of entry wound, size of exit wound. You can tell a lot about the caliber of the bullet and the speed to which it hit. So you would be able to tell, I'm looping back to your original question, you would be able to tell to what degree the likelihood that it was a ricochet that went through a wall versus if someone just picked someone at like 500 yards out and decided to shoot them in the chest.
Okay,
that is something a doctor would be able to tell. Yes.
That strange credulity to me that a doctor alone would know that, when typically they like would have ballistics experts and like people would need to examine.
Well, that's where you start to get into. That's where you start to get into being able to match the bullet from the exact gun. But there are you can Google it. There are very specific things that a trauma surgeon would be able, especially the ones that were there, would be able to tell you. And this wasn't coming from just one dude. It was a consensus.
Hold on. Wait a minute. The other issue with regards to that too was that I believe the person in question that they were talking about is like also like some kind of crazy like anti-Israel activist. Was that not the same dude that they were referring to? I can't remember.
I don't recall. I don't remember if he was some sort of quote unquote crazy Israel activist, but after you put your hands in enough mutilated bodies, I would think you would start to hold a grudge against the people that were doing the mutilating.
Yeah, but again, they don't even necessarily know if that's the case, that they were doing that's what happened. And like, I do not think that, like, I feel like this seems, no, trauma surgeons are not fucking ballistics experts.
I'm not saying that they are. I laid out a very specific set of things that they would be able to tell, and it's something that anybody right now can fucking Google. There is a set
Mark
pattern
Perlmutter,
of,
that was the guy.
Again, angle, speed, determining the size of the entry and the exit wounds. You would be able to tell a lot about types of bullets and whether or not they were fucking like ricochets or if they went through a wall first, things like that.
Yeah, but that's not, I don't think that trauma surgeons necessarily are aware of these things unless they also happen to be ballistics experts.
No, you're wrong. Be that as it may. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. I mean, like, I don't know. I just don't, that just seems very, very weird to me. I find that incredibly difficult to believe that trauma surgeons would like just know all this shit about like Like the caliber of
Okay,
like
so
the entry
no,
based on
okay,
the
so
entry,
I'll
they
narrow
could
it
figure
down.
out how the bullet was hit or whatever. Like, how the fuck are they gonna know whether or not the bullet
So the
came through a
path, hold on,
wall and
I can
hit
explain.
somebody?
No, I can explain. So the path that it goes through the body, right? Would that not be able to tell you the angle that the person was in relation to the person they were shooting?
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean again that a bullet didn't go through a wall and hit someone. Do you
Okay, but if
think?
it came down, hold on. So if it went through like from the upper right part of your back and then out through the bottom of your rib cage, that would suggest that the person was above them, right?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Reasonably, yeah, sure. Okay. So now if the entry hole was very small and the exit hole was very large, that would be able to tell you like probably like the type of bullet or the type of weapon that shot it
Yeah, but again, that
and
doesn't
the
mean
speed, right?
that it didn't go through a wall.
What happens when a bullet goes through walls? Does it slow down?
It can
Right?
a little bit, but it depends on the
A
bullet.
little bit, sure. So I'm saying that these are all variables. Now, this is not
Also,
supposed to
hold
be
on. I don't know if
this is
wait.
not supposed to be a determinative. I'm not saying that this would be the same thing on par with some fucking NCIS crime show where they go into a lab
Yeah,
and they
but all
3D
everybody,
scan
yeah, but
bullets
all
and
of you
things like
guys
that.
are all
That's not what I
saying
said.
this as if it's 100% certainty. And if anybody like disagrees with this or puts forward alternative scenarios, then you all get like super mad about it and start accusing and
No.
start
Hold on.
strawmanning
First
that
of all, I
person.
haven't done that.
Okay, maybe
I haven't
you
done that,
haven't
and
done
I'm not
that,
any of
but
these other
that's
people.
what Disinfo Tracker did to Lonerbox.
But the other half of this, right, is that if this was a one-off, there was one person, one time that got hit in such a way that one surgeon ended up seeing, I would see your point. But this was something that was happening over and over and
Yeah, but we're
over
talking
and
about
over again.
here's the thing though,
That
dude. The issue is like I'm willing to grant you that yes, it is very likely that some number of these kids were probably a lot of them actually were killed because that they were scavenging for food or whatever and they crossed over into a kill zone, especially with all the Yehuda Voss shit. But the problem that I have is that it seems like you and others are not willing to recognize the fact that this is a fucking urban war and it's entirely possible that kids get caught in the crossfire because yeah,
I would hold on. I'll give you the conditional, right? If this were more of a symmetric battle, if this wasn't so asymmetric in nature between like an insanely well-equipped army and a bunch of dudes in fucking Adidas tracksuits and stupid little green headbands, I would see your point. But it's
Wait,
fucking not.
but
It's absolutely not.
yeah, but that's the
And
entire.
when you start to have
Hold
tent
on.
encampments,
That's
when you
the.
have tent encampments that get bombed,
That's
filled with
the.
civilians,
That's the
then
entire.
we're not talking about the same thing anymore.
That's the entire point here, though, is that like, so you don't think Hamas sets up shop in civilian areas ever? You don't think they operate out of civilian areas? I asked you this question: why don't they build bomb shelters for their civilians? Last time we talked, and
I answered this too.
Yeah, you
I
did.
put-
You tried to make some dumb claim about how they couldn't because they don't have the resources to do so, which doesn't make any sense considering that they took all those resources and put them in. They did have the resources, but they decided to use them to build tunnels instead, which they don't let their civilians into.
Well,
is
the United States doesn't
ridiculous.
let people into federal military bases during like natural disasters and shit. So I'm not going to judge another nation, especially one that's under siege, for not doing what what America already doesn't do.
This is hold on. Yeah, I know, but the difference is that America, if America were in a position where it was going to get bombed, actually no, they were like America did have like steps that they were taking and like bomb shelters and shit during the Cold War.
They had kids practice putting they during the Cold War they had elementary school students practicing getting under the desk in case a nuclear bomb fell. I mean, seemed like that was going to work out really well.
Well, no,
it wasn't.
It wasn't going to work out really well, but obviously they had to they wanted to do something to make people feel a little bit more safe. Obviously, like that's stupid, but regardless, this actually gets to something that I want to ask you because I'm genuinely curious and I wanted to talk to you about this for a long time, or somebody like you or who holds your opinions. Do you think that do you understand why Israel blockaded Gaza? Like, why do you think they did it in 2007?
2000 and you said what?
In 2007, that's like when the blockade like properly started.
It was a response to violence after Hamas took power, no?
Yeah, it was. Hamas started shooting a whole bunch of rockets at them, and that was before the Iron Dome came in. So do you think
Uh-huh.
Israel shouldn't have blockaded Gaza as a result of
Why
them-
were they shooting rockets? Because a lot of this is going to come down to chicken and the egg, right?
they were shooting rockets because they want to destroy Israel because they don't think Israel should exist as a country, and they decided to do this
Why?
because they're
This
mad
is gonna
about...
this is gonna boil down to the same thing every time.
Oh, okay. So what you're basically saying is that the Palestinians are justified in fighting forever because of what happened in 1948. Is that where we're going with
I mean,
this?
1948 and then everything that follows, right?
Yeah, but like you understand that gets like kind of insane, right? Like at what point like do you accept that you're not going to get all of the land back and that you should probably just make peace? Do you accept that like violence hasn't helped you ever?
Okay, but all they've so for the most part, I would end up just continuing to point out again and again that violence is basically all they've known. They've been on the receiving end of constant violence. That's what perpetuates the desire to do these sorts of resistance tactics and shit like that.
No, they no.
I want to. Okay,
they're
here,
not resistance
I'll get to the heart of what you're
tactics.
trying to ask me. I'll get to the heart of what you're trying to ask me, right? Because you're trying to say because of rockets and suicide bombings that's why they did a blockade, correct? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, although like hold on, before if you want I can drive it home further. Like there's a town.
No, that was just all I'm asking. Hold on, that's all I'm asking.
Towns that are
Suicide
near the
bombings and
Gaza
rockets, right?
border, but mainly it was the rockets. Those rockets don't have any aim, and like there were people who got killed because they couldn't make it to the shelters in time because like from the second the air raids go off, the people have like less than 30 seconds to make it there. In Sderot, one of the towns on the Gaza border, like they literally turned the playground equipment into like fucking bomb shelters. Like that's how crazy it was because the Iron Dome wasn't a thing until like 2010. You know, like I'm just saying that like I think it's a little bit unfair to expect like the civilian population of this country to just eat it instead of Israel doing a blockade against Gaza to get them to cut off their weapons. And by the way, did they go too far with that blockade? Yeah, of course they fucking did.
Well, then that's also kind of the other funny thing about these conversations is that anytime you do get concession out of someone to go, yes, I do think that was absolutely unacceptable. But then it still turns around to somehow trying to do rhetorical jujitsu in order to say that the Palestinians still deserve what they're getting. Like in a roundabout way, when you think about it.
No,
come on now.
turns
into
no. There is a difference between. Do you understand? No, it's not the Palestinians deserve what they're getting. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that people on your side are like constantly, it's like you don't want to accept why Israel, that like mostly everything Israel does is in reaction to things that other people are doing to them. It's got nothing to do with anybody deserving anything. I'm saying that like Israel wouldn't be justified.
So if they hadn't shot rockets and done suicide bombings, then they wouldn't have gotten a blockade.
No, probably not. No, they wouldn't have gotten a blockade.
So
actually,
if it
no,
wasn't
yeah.
for what they did. So if it wasn't for what they did.
If it wasn't for what Hamas did, to be clear.
Okay. So in turn, they're doing collective punishment, which is last time I checked, it was one of those silly war crimes things, right?
Yes, some of that was collective punishment, yes.
Which it back me up on that last statement I made. That's still
that's not
a good thing, right?
Yes, I never said that it was a good thing. I said that listen, when the blockade starts cutting off like materials that you don't use to make weapons, then yeah, at that point it becomes collective punishment. Which is one of the things that they did.
So at every turn, there's some example of something.
Yes,
that we
Israel
can point to.
Yes,
there's some example that we can point to where a wrong was done, freedoms were taken away, restrictions were imposed because of might makes right politics. Things get shittier for one side. They lash out at a certain point. You can say whatever you want about the tactics, atrocious.
But that's
god awful.
That's my issue, though.
But the motivation
I understand,
is certainly there.
I understand the motivation, but my problem is that there were other tactics that could be used that would have been better and that would have helped them.
Okay, such as?
Like, are you familiar with South Africa at all? Or how about during the first Intifada? Are you familiar with that?
So South Africa, where they did like substantial boycott, divestment. things that we're trying to outlaw in the United States, like stuff
No,
like that?
I'm talking about what the South Africans themselves did. I'm talking about what Mandela did. I'm not talking about the other shit that other people were doing outside of that. Or like in the first Intifada, they did civil disobedience and they did strikes and they went and they marched in the streets. That's the kind of
and
shit
now
that I'm
when
talking about.
If they march now, they get shot. Like, what are we saying?
Do you understand like how powerful it can be if like a group of people go out in the street and they are
Kalinda,
literally
please,
peaceful
please,
and they're doing nothing and then the other side just shoots them? Like, do you think that Israel's going to
You're saying
engender
this
any
after
kind of
2
sympathy
years.
if they do that?
You're saying this after 2 years of seeing people in tent encampments getting blasted into little chunks. I've seen shit that I can never unsee for the rest of my fucking life. The insides of things that I thought have to be a fake video.
Okay, bro.
Has to be. So you're saying that had they been peaceful, you're saying had they been peaceful and done some peaceful protesting, which they have done it at times, that something would have made a difference.
When have they done that besides during the first
peace-
Intifada, which, by the way, there was still violence during?
Okay.
But
I'm
it was considerably. Are you going to bring up
you
the Great March of Return now? And you're going to
No,
say
I'm
that
not.
was peaceful?
Hold on, I'm not. In the last 2 years, would you? I mean, I'm just going to ask a question. I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just trying to set a base level here. Do you have the capability to say these group of people over here are the civilians and this group of people over here are Hamas, right? You just got done talking about this with Cheddar, correct? You said that the militant wing, etc., right?
Do you deny that Hamas sets up shop and
hold on,
operates
we're
out of
not-
civilian
nope, nope.
areas?
Do you think and do I think and do you think? That's not what we're doing.
Well, I mean, you have to recognize that it's an urban war.
For the amount of videos that have come out where you see people in beds with IVs still stuck to their arm that are burning alive, for the amount of kids that have been fucking blasted from their apartment not doing anything and then knocked over to like the adjoining roof of the next apartment over, like you're saying that the video of something would have been enough to change the paradigm and get people's sympathies and things like that. You're seeing that now and nobody's paying attention to it. So you're saying had they done this before, people would have noticed, except for the fact that there were periods where they did this before and nobody noticed.
Okay,
so
bro, hold on.
Where was the window of time?
Wait,
where was the window of time where Israel was like, we're gonna give them back land, we're gonna give them back their rights, we're gonna lift up off the blockade if they go like another 2 weeks?
They
like,
literally
that's never happened.
They left Gaza in 2005. I know they didn't do it because they wanted the Palestinians to build a state, but can you imagine what would have happened if Hamas had said, hey, you know what? Instead of spending our time trying to destroy Israel, we're going to take all this aid that we're getting and we're going to try and we're going to like fucking, and we're actually going to like build something for ourselves here instead of like shooting fucking rockets into Israel and antagonizing them. Also, that IV video
Hamas
shit
can eat my balls. I don't care about Hamas.
Hold on. Also,
but
that
you have to also contend
wait,
with the fact that the United States and the PA and Israel were trying to interfere in that election in the first place. They saw all the other entities on the playing field as fucking interferers and collaborators.
Hold on. Yes, but just a second. Can I?
Okay, so
stop. You
have a group of people.
Bro,
that see the fact that the fucking deck is stacked against them, and you're saying that their problem was that they weren't playing nice enough after the election was over.
Yeah, because they literally had control of Gaza. Why the hell did they need to like go after Israel at that point? You've got control of Gaza. You could build a state. Just a second. I just want to tell you something. That video that you're talking about, the IV one, that was fake. It was a wire. It wasn't an IV in the guy's arm. That wasn't
there
real.
There were still medical beds that were parked outside that hospital because it was overcrowded.
Which video are you talking about?
I would have to go find it, and I don't give enough of a shit right now. It was the one that Mark Lamont Hill ended up showcasing on his nightly show at the time as well.
Also, and like I promise I won't dogpile you here, okay? Or this won't become a dogpile. I'll just shut up if he comes in you want to talk to him, but Loner wanted to talk to you. Is that okay?
I don't give two shits about talking to him. I came here to talk to you on your stream, right?
Okay.
Okay. Do you this was enough to get Dad's attention? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. No, he just messaged me and asked if he could join in, like in the same way as he did when you were on Hutch's stream. Somebody probably told him that you were talking to me.
Oh, well, I mean, you do
'Cause-
have a certain overlap of audience, right?
Yeah, I do, but that's kind of yeah, but this is like what happens though, right? You know, like people people like to go on about or like people message people.
I have
when
one other
there's
question.
Shit going on.
I have one other question. And I think Cheddar might have actually, hold on a second. Two other things.
Okay, oh, so no,
Yeah, no, I'm here to talk to you. You're the streamer. I'm here to talk to you. Why? I have the ability. I can DM him right now. I've done it before. I have the ability to talk to him on his stream. I'm here for you.
It seems like you don't ever want to do that though, but okay.
No, because he's bad faith. So far, I haven't gotten anything from you to make me think that you're bad faith. Are you bad faith?
I mean, I don't think that I'm bad faith. I don't think that he's bad faith.
Okay, well
though.
then let's keep it that way and let's keep talking between me and you.
I mean, I'd be curious to have an example of why he's bad faith.
I mean, we've
one,
been
and then
we've
we
been
can-
talking about that to an extent, right?
and then we can go back to this or whatever. But what
You asked Cheddar very specifically that you wanted proof that they were still blocking construction goods, right?
wait,
Earlier you did, right?
no, it wasn't about construction goods.
No, it was. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
You wanted proof because he said, what were they supposed to build with? And because they're blocking things, and you said you wanted proof of that, right?
Not that they were still blocking, maybe that they were previously blocking.
What time frame would you be okay with? Because I have something from at least 2021 that shows them trying to scavenge through rubble of just previously destroyed buildings from airstrikes.
Yeah, I
so
understand that there were issues with construction stuff being blocked. However, that does not change the overall point that like all the building materials that Hamas got, they used it to build tunnels instead of literally anything else. I don't even know if that's true though. There is so
You don't
much
know if they-
shit. No, I mean I don't
Okay.
know if it's true about whatever it is that you're talking about in 2021. Like if they I know they had like, do you think they just didn't get any construction materials?
No. Well, I mean, here, hold on a second. Where's your? Here you go. So that article goes on to talk about there were very specific examples where they would be allowed for concrete, but it had to be something that was directly under like UN supervision and UN control. Like they were basically treated like children and they weren't even allowed to build on their own.
Yeah, that's why there was a tunnel, or there were they smuggled like
The Al Shifa tunnel?
No,
The one that you were trying to show Cheddar?
No, they smuggled
Because that one Israel built. I think that's funny that you use that as the example for tunnels under the hospitals. Because that's the one specifically that Israel
was
built.
connected to a Hamas tunnel.
Yes, it was a tunnel under the hospital that Israel built.
Yes,
I
but
agree.
that doesn't matter. Hamas was using it and they connected it to their greater tunnel network.
So your example, I'm
Do you
going back to.
Do you just not believe that?
I'm going back.
Do you think that
Hold
that
on,
wasn't no?
I'm going back to the conversation that you had, which is what I was listening to, which made me finally decide to join your Discord server. Was that you were asking? He wanted from you examples there of
Yeah,
Hamas
and then I
tunnels.
wanted to show him the
The
French
one
20
that you went to, was Al Shifa specifically, and I said to myself, that name sounds familiar for some reason. So I Googled it, and sure enough, that is the one that Israel knew about that tunnel specifically because they're the ones that fucking built it.
It was they built like a storage basement under the tunnel or under the hospital. It wasn't like a tunnel. And then Hamas attached the tunnel to it. And then I wanted to show him the France 24 report where they looked at this and he was like, no, that's a Zionist source. Therefore, I don't believe it. Like, you'd have just sent me an Al Jazeera link, and I'm not going to go, oh my god, Ogre Boy, no, fuck this. This is Al Jazeera, therefore it's lying.
Yeah, I'm not Cheddar.
Okay, well, thank you.
Here's another one. I want you to, you don't have to do that on screen because it's a hell of a link. Just read the AI overview for me at the top of the page, just to streamline this a bit.
Like, okay, but it doesn't matter why they built it.
It also gives them credit for building the tunnel that you were trying to use the video of. Let's
But
say you showed the video.
No,
Hold
because
on, hold
they
on.
didn't
Let's say
build
you
that
showed the video
tunnel.
from the horrific. No. Read the top line.
Israeli content built a secure underground operating room and tunnel network, but really? Where does this come from? Oh, it's from Wikipedia? Is that, like, what is Wikipedia's source? Alleged military use of Al-Shifa?
So I'm just off of quickly, easily
Oh,
findable
Jesus,
information.
hold on.
I'm sure we could dive in for hours after this.
Oh my god.
My point remains the same. If a video footage is video footage, I don't give a shit who it comes from. It's not like the camera in and of itself is going to lie specifically, right? But the point remains the same. You went to a very specific example, the only one that popped into your head when he was like, "Can you show me proof of this?" And you said Al-Shifa, and that's the one that Israel specifically is like at every turn going, "Yeah, that one definitely. We've got footage of the hole after we bombed the place." Like, I don't know. It just seems like that's a little convenient.
So you don't think, so you're saying that Hamas did not attach a tunnel to Al-Shifa and that they were not operating out of there, or that they did, that's all just a lie? You don't think that's
I'm
true?
saying I don't think there's any proof, no.
Okay, so I guess France 24 is just full of shit then, and their fact check is just wrong. Like, I mean, because they did go in there and there is video evidence, there is video footage of it, and like there was video
They have video footage that they were provided, sure.
Yeah, and then they fact checked it based on like other things, based on what other Hamas tunnels look like.
Okay.
Like, is that just a lie then?
Well, no, there's no doubt in my mind that tunnel is there. That's not
Yeah, well, no,
I feel like you're missing the point.
There's more than one
Forest for the
tunnel
trees.
there. No, the issue, dude, is that you don't seem to think that Hamas co-locates in civilian areas at all. Is that the case? Is that
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter if they do or not.
I mean, I think it's pretty important because it kind of defines
So
the
what
whole
percentage?
urban warfare
So hold on.
thing.
So what percentage, if you had to make up a number, to what percentage of like the bombings would you say like 10% were actually because there was a co-located Hamas person, 60%, 100%?
You know what, dude? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't fucking know because we don't have enough
Don't you
information.
think that matters?
Yeah, I
Don't
do
you think that matters?
Yeah, I do think it matters. But here's the problem. Unlike you, I'm not going to immediately jump to assuming that they're all innocent civilians and that like it was all just Israel trying to kill civilians for the lulz, and that they are spending bombs that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars so that they can murder civilians for the lulz.
They have a pretty good hookup on the bombs, don't
and
you
they're
say?
trying to do a genocide.
I think they want the Palestinians gone, and this was their opportunity to do it. Now you can prescribe whatever sort of lawful good, neutral, chaotic evil, whatever word fits your fancy for that.
Bro,
but
I think that if that was the case, then the death number would be way higher. Israel has the capacity. Yes, Israel has the capacity. There are 2 million people in Gaza, and Israel has killed. But that number is like at most probably 100K. The official death toll is 60,000, and like this idea that if they wanted to kill them all, like really, you really think that they couldn't have done way more than that? I mean, Jesus Christ, I can
okay, so I already know where you're going with that, and not maintain their position on the global stage. No.
Oh my
Absolutely
God.
not.
Okay.
Oh, your God?
No, I just remembered this. You did this in the debate, in your discussion with Lowerbox too. You did this weird thing where you were like, Israel cares so much about maintaining their position on the global stage, and then you claimed that if Hamas disarms, then Israel's going to go in there and ethnically cleanse everybody. What about them caring about their position on the global stage? Like, either they care or they don't. It seems like they care when you want them to, and then they stop caring when you don't want them to.
No, I didn't say that if they disarmed, they were going to go in and kill everyone. But I'm
No, you
saying I
said
did
you
say
said
that
they
at
were
that
gonna
point,
they were gonna kick everybody out if Hamas disarmed, and you said that Hamas not disarming meant that they were gonna be able to like that was the thing that
do you think that
Hamas.
they don't deserve the civilian populace that is left behind? They don't deserve the right to defend themselves.
I mean, it depends what you mean, sure, but like they're not Hamas. I don't think that they
I agree.
deserve.
They're not Hamas. Should they be able to defend themselves?
If defending themselves means actually defending themselves and not doing terror attacks against Israel, because I don't think that's self-defense, and I don't think fighting the IDF is like, unless the IDF is directly
Okay,
attacking them.
so from square one, let's just establish, right? What you and I both think is in the grand scheme of things irrelevant beyond should they have the
No,
means at their
stop.
disposal to defend themselves?
Bro, you're literally running away from what I'm trying to say. I'm going to hold
You're
you
trying to
down.
add a dozen qualifiers
No,
to
I'm
imply
not
that they
trying
have
to
some
add
evil
a dozen.
intent.
No, I'm not trying to add a dozen qualifiers. Here's my problem
Uh-huh.
with what you are saying. In that discussion, you literally tried to say that Israel isn't going to like do full out go full out and like just basically level Gaza to the ground completely, which they kind of have done, and like use all the bunker busting bombs and like murder everybody and bomb every house even if there's no Hamas there. They're gonna like they wouldn't go crazy because they care about their position on the world stage. But then you follow it up by saying if Hamas disarms, Israel's going to go in there and ethnically cleanse all the Gazans because there'll be nothing to stop them. Why would
Well,
why would they do that? Why did
why
they
are they only
suddenly
why are they
care?
only offering why are they only offering to open the Rafah border as an exit only?
That's not the same thing as what you said.
As trying to push people out of the region and not allow them
No,
to
that's
return.
not the same thing as what you said, because if they were talking about them opening the Rafah border, it would like the people who left, it would be like voluntary. That's not the same thing. You were implying that if Hamas disarmed, Israel would go in there and they would basically kick them all out, and suddenly they
I
wouldn't
still believe
care.
yes.
Yeah, okay. So explain to me, why is it that they would be willing to do that, and they would just say fuck what the international community thinks, but they aren't willing to like bomb the shit out of Gaza? Why is it that you have this
Because
weird double
one
standard?
results in instant death that would be undeniable. The other is something you can pass off as this sort of voluntary migration that you're talking
No,
about.
you can't do that. You can't pass it off
Yes,
as a
I
sort
can.
of voluntary migration.
If they don't allow the rest of the Western media to come in and document any of this shit, which they still haven't said in any capacity that they intend
you
on
don't
doing.
and you don't think that the countries that end up receiving these people aren't going to talk to them, and you don't think that like that they're not going to hear from them? You don't think Egypt's not going to let reporters in? You think Egypt is just going to be like, well, whatever, we washed our hands of this, we're going to absorb 2 million people into our country?
How many interviews have they landed with the people that have paid off the guards in order to escape?
I think that like actually I believe there was a guy from Haaretz who talked to somebody who fled Gaza near the beginning of the war.
So in the 2-year window, we're talking about one dude.
I
Probably
mean,
a lot of these people don't want to put their face back in front of a camera and admit the fact that something has happened to them in this nature. They probably want to put distance on it, right?
You think that people who intentionally ran away are going to be the same thing as people who get coerced into leaving, and that you think none of them are going to be willing to talk? You think Egypt won't make them talk to people? You think that Egypt won't come out? You think that Egypt will just be a-okay with all this and they won't give a shit if Israel pushes out? You think Egypt's population will just be okay with that, even though they don't want to absorb?
To be
2
fair,
million
I don't think it's
people?
going to. I don't think it's going to come to that, because I don't think there's always that possibility, sure, but I don't think it's going to come to that because Egypt doesn't want them. They don't have the infrastructure to take on 2 million people at the same time.
Well, yeah,
They're going to end up going to other places, kind of like some of the places that now Israel is seemingly acknowledging overnight for some reason.
Oh,
or
okay.
the fact that they're making arrangements and deals with countries in South Africa, where they've been sending plane loads of Palestinians that are told, grab your shit, you can take whatever's on your back, nothing more than that, and get the fuck out.
So again, you actually think that 2 million people are just going to disappear from Gaza and no one's going to notice? You think Israel's going to be able to keep that a secret?
It'll be done. It'll be done under the guise of some sort of magnanimous relocation, and that'll pretty much be. It'll be a convenient, accepted story, and then everybody will go back to brunch.
No, there's no way. No, there's no way that will happen because it won't be a convenient thing. It'll be coerced. If you do an ethnic cleansing like that, then it'll be violent and it'll be crazy, and somebody in the IDF is going to leak that shit, just like has happened in other instances where the IDF was doing really bad shit.
Why do you think they want this peacekeeping? Why do you think they want this peacekeeping force to come in and demilitarize all of Gaza?
Because they don't want Gaza to be a threat to Israel anymore.
So they take away the possibility for that push out to be as violent as it could be.
You really think that something can't be violent even if like the other side doesn't have guns? Do you think that like people can't resist if they don't have weapons? You think that like people aren't going to get shot?
I'm sure they can just lay down in the middle of the street. True. But there's going to be a big difference in like bravery levels and shit like that if you have something to defend yourself with versus if you don't. There's still going to be something that's not very fucking pleasant.
But what I'm saying is that if you think that they're going to be able to do this secretly and nobody's going to find out about it, then you're delusional. Because that hasn't been the case with any of the other incredibly, really horrible shit that Israel has done.
To be clear, there's been numerous things throughout the course of the last 2 years that make it all the way back to like the White House, like the Secretary of State, the Secretary of State like press pool. They ask the comms director in there all the time about a lot of shit, especially during Biden's administration. And Matt Miller would grin and say, "We're waiting on Israel to come back to us after their investigation, and until then, you can ask them." That was the end of the fucking story.
Okay, but the story was still there, wasn't it?
And nobody gave a fuck. That's my point. When you don't let in CNN, MSNBC, when nobody carries it forward.
You think no one.
And then you can play Pallywood with anything else that comes through because it's just from the Palestinian journalists that are there and they're all terrorists, so you can't listen to them anyway.
You really think no one's going to give a shit if they start ethnically cleansing people? You really think Egypt ain't going to start looking into that or any of these other countries?
Well, I know Loner said that when they start to put them on the boats, then that's when he would finally cry foul. And I do appreciate that he said that during our last conversation. But for the most part, I think a lot of people in America are worried about their next, like making rent and shit like that. You'll see people like march in New York City or what have you. Like there'll be some global acts of solidarity where like in Japan and Australia and what have you. You'll see large numbers march.
I feel like
not much more than that.
I feel like you're doing insane mental gymnastics if you think that Israel would not like become a pariah that would get like fucking sanctioned out the wazoo, or that like
to be clear, I'm not saying that they're going to the idea that they're going to push all 2 million out of one gate at one time. That's also comical, and it's not going to happen.
I mean,
and I said earlier that the idea of them leaving like all at once or in that same way, specifically because also Egypt doesn't fucking want them, is something that I don't think happen.
But the point that I'm trying to make
you're going to see them get pecked away little by little over time until there's hardly any left. I do think that's the outcome.
And the result of that would be Israel becoming a pariah on the world stage that even the United States probably wouldn't be able to justify being friends with anymore.
I mean, we'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. We'll have to see what happens, but I don't. So far, there's been things,
but again,
man-made horrors beyond my comprehension that I would have thought that would have been the thing.
To go back
and we haven't crossed that fucking bridge yet.
To what I was saying before, it seems like your standard is it's just Israel cares about what the international community thinks when it's convenient for you, Overboy, and then suddenly you think they'll stop caring about it when it's once again convenient for your argument. And I think that's a very silly double standard to have.
If they did the drop 200 bunker busters all in one huddled together little circumstance, that becomes the thing that can't be denied anymore. And I'm also saying that in the event that they start to, they will end up pitching it to people that by and large these were all like voluntary migrations.
Yeah, but the problem is that
it's not going to come across the way you think.
You don't have any evidence that they've just decided to drop like that they're like doing a secret genocide or whatever. Like that's not what genocides look like. Like, did you hear my little rant to Cheddar earlier about what a genocide typically looks like and about my issue with people painting everything that Israel does as like a genocide or whatever, or like the absolute worst thing ever? When how, like, why can't something just be
Well, you want to
bad?
talk about genocidal intent, but I've also heard people talk about genocidal knowledge. There's a dude
Yeah,
that
well,
used to write for Wise.
genocidal intent is Dolus Specialis is pretty important.
I'm yes, it's the most important, as Mr. Bonarelli once mentioned. But
No, I
what I
mean
was going
he's
to
not
say is
wrong
that
though.
there is another. Well, he kind of is. There's another. There was a gentleman that used to write for Wisecrack that had a half-hour piece on genocidal knowledge versus genocidal intent. And if you only went off of genocidal intent, there are things that have been deemed a genocide in the past that would actually have that decision be reversed.
Such
That
as
sometimes you don't get a I would have to just give you the link. It's like a half an hour. He gets very legal with it. It was very dry to watch, but I stuck through it for the most part.
are
because
you
I thought it was very
talking
interesting.
are you talking about that fucking, what the fuck was that guy's name? Are you talking about that video that was done by what was it, John the Duncan? Is that the video
I
you're referring to?
I happen to be, yes.
Okay, that, I don't think that was the argument that he was making.
No, he definitely did in the middle of the video. 100%.
I'm trying to remember.
I would say
I've seen that shit, and I'm trying to remember what the argument that he was making was like really weird. No, he was trying to he was trying to like muddy the waters about like what exactly genocidal is. It was dumb. I can't remember what the fuck his argument was though, because it's been
you can't remember
months.
the argument. You just know it was dumb.
No,
and I'm trying to
I
elaborate to
remember
you that.
thinking that it was dumb.
So the whole point behind the notion of arguing or trying to
He was
convey what
no,
genocidal knowledge. Hold on.
He was trying to argue against current genocide case law. That's what it was.
No, he was actually going off of things that contributed to the declaration of past genocides. And talking about why you don't specifically just go off of that highly specific intent that I can't ever say his name seriously.
John
That Bonarelli. That Bonarelli was sticking to during that conversation.
Dude,
because
why don't you just say Destiny?
there
I don't
were
know
things
why
in
you're
the past.
so weird about him, but okay.
Because I think he's gross.
Okay.
So here, I'm not saying watch it now, but this is just so that you have it on the back burner. Maybe you can watch it sometime in the next week.
I've seen that video, dude.
So the point of it is that when you can see when you hear the language of the leadership, when you see the language and actions of the military leadership, and then you see the results, including what happens to every aspect of infrastructure, farming, educational systems, right?
But
that
again,
genocide isn't just a matter of X number of people dead and
No,
having a piece of paper
nobody
from Netanyahu that says genocide everybody, signed Benjamin Netanyahu. That's not how that works.
That's not what genocidal intent is. If that was what genocidal intent meant, then the Holocaust wouldn't be a genocide because there's no paper from Hitler that says genocide the Jews with his signature on it.
No, but there's a fuck of a lot of writing on it, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, although most of it is euphemisms, but we have Himmler on tape saying we are exterminating the Jews. He said it during the Posen speeches, or one of the Posen speeches.
No, I see your point. There's nobody from the Knesset or IDF leadership or anybody else saying the same thing about the Palestinians.
Really? Is there somebody who was Himmler, like Himmler? Because I don't care what random politicians say, because people say crazy shit in war. And also, by the way, the difference here too is that in terms of with the Holocaust, it wasn't just stuff that people said. it was also followed up with the action of putting people on trains and sending them to gas chambers where they were being killed. And that's the difference. The difference is that you can see the intent clear as day in the actions. In the Rwandan genocide, that's the difference. If you heard my rant earlier to Cheddar about the fact that you have people going house to house and killing people, and that's not the kind of shit that Israel does when they commit war crimes. It's always muddy and committed in the context of a battle. And so in order for you to prove genocide, you then have to run back to, oh, well, you know, they're just hiding behind the war so that they can like do a genocide, and like to them collateral damage is intentional, or some weird conspiracy shit that you don't actually have evidence for, but you just have to like make all these inferences. It's a lot of like, isn't it weird that shit, you know, that I kind of have an issue with, especially since, by the way, when those death numbers come out from an Israeli strike, we don't know how many of them are Hamas because the health ministry never tells us.
So wait, earlier you said that it was just the militant wing of Hamas that you had the issue with because those are the terrorists when they turn around and
when I say Hamas, I'm talking about Hamas's soldiers. That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
when New York Times and 972 Mag said that they lifted the restrictions to allow for like a 50-to-1 or higher civilian to militant ratio, that didn't raise any red flags, and then they don't ever have to name the one militant that they were trying to kill when they end up wiping out the 50 or more civilians in the process.
Do you think that like I think Israel has shitty proportionality assessments. I don't think that's the same thing as genocide.
I mean, it's a complete lack of human life, right? Or a lack of care for human life, correct?
Again, there's a difference between not giving a shit and intentionally doing something. Do you recognize this?
At a certain point, that line kind of gets blurred, don't you think?
Not when it comes to genocide. No, genocide requires a special intent. I think perhaps.
So maybe, this is like on The Simpsons, where like Bart says, "I'm just going to start windmilling my arms and walking towards you, and if you happen to be there, then like, oops." Like, is that what we're doing?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, I don't like. Do you not recognize that there's a philosophical difference between intentionally doing something and doing something that results in like deaths and not giving a shit about that? Like, do you think there's
why would they come out and nakedly say the intent part? Like, look into a camera and say we are trying to kill every last one.
Okay, now you're gonna have to start if you want to start getting specific, you can. But a lot of those quotes that you're referring to, they were fucking talking about Hamas. They were not talking about all Palestinians. Also, I don't care what random crazy members of the Knesset say. Like, I can find, I guarantee you that for any war, I can find people saying unhinged shit, and you're not going to say, oh, this makes it a genocide. Like,
so
Jesus Christ, dude, do you want me to go look up shit like Nasser said when he was president of Egypt about how much he wanted to destroy Israel and all that insane shit? Like, are you then going to clarify that that was a genocide? Like, are you going to agree that Nasser had genocidal intent against the Israelis and that he wanted to go in there and murder them all?
Well, I think it also comes down to if you have the capability to do so, right?
No, I'm just saying, like, can
no,
you...
correct, right? There's a difference between saber rattling and then actually making such a threat when you have the capability of doing it,
The point that
correct?
I'm getting at is, can you acknowledge that people, especially people in the Middle East, say unhinged shit when they're at war about their enemies? Can you acknowledge this is a thing that happens? And that it's not, and that in and of itself is
tell me what saber rattling is.
Genocidal intent.
Tell me what saber rattling is.
That can be you saying that it's usually like you being threatening, but that doesn't mean that you're threatening genocide. It could just be you threatening, you know, like if Jesus Christ, dude, do you think that do you think, like, I bet I could find like
does everything get rephrased into like an extra question on top of that? Like, what are, this is getting tiring.
Well, I'm just
why? So
I feel like
what is the thing?
Answer.
What is the thing? What is the thing that you what is the one thing that you want to hear to where you go, hey, they said the thing, so therefore, and this is just so that in the future, in the weeks to come, when I'm watching, I can have the what's that fucking actor? Not Nicholson, the younger one that looks like Nicholson now.
I don't know.
No, come on. He dates all the young chicks.
Oh,
Fuck.
Leonardo
What is his name?
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio. So I can have the DiCaprio meme moment, right? When they finally say the thing, what is the thing that you want them to say so that you can finally go, yes, that's what they're doing?
I don't think that the quotes matter. I think the actions do. And I think that if we start seeing if the IDF decides to go back into Gaza and we start seeing them doing shit like
They haven't left Gaza.
no, I mean
They have
to-
no intention of leaving Gaza.
I mean go back further into Gaza. Okay? If the IDF decides to go back further into Gaza and start going house to house and shooting people and massacring them, a la what the RSF did recently in Sudan, or if evidence comes out that Yehuda Vach was doing like if he had genocidal intent, or if he was ordering his soldiers to like do that same kind of thing that I just mentioned.
For the most part,
then-
they can't do that anymore because they're living in tents next to like landfills and shit now.
Okay, fine. If
The
they
ability
started
to go
going,
door to
if they
door,
started
we're talking
going,
about like tent flap to tent flap.
bro, okay, fine. If they started going 10, I'm saying that if it looked like what a genocide actually looks like historically, then yeah, I would call it that.
Okay.
Or if some other kind of evidence started to come out or whatever, but like right now
When do you recall earlier in the spring when they were starting to get closer to breaking the total blockade? Do you remember anything about the speeches that Netanyahu was giving inside Israel proper? Or do you recall reading any articles about anything that he said?
I think he was talking about wanting to make them leave. Was that not something that
Okay.
was that not went around?
It's along those lines. I'll try to refresh your memory and then you tell me if this rings a bell at all. So at the time he was telling people that in order to do what needs to be done, they have to begrudgingly let a small amount of aid in. Why do you think he was saying that?
Because the United States pressured him into letting aid in. And I think, and because he had to placate his base, because he had to placate the crazies that he had made a deal with in order to keep his government going. And because
so
it was, things were starting to look really bad. With
wait.
aid
Hold on. Put a pin in
and
that. Hold on.
Trump.
Put a pin in that. Did you not see the thing recently that basically said Smotrich admitted that it was also Netanyahu that was encouraging and trying to secure, I think it was the financing and the permission structure to push the settlements into the West Bank further? This notion that it's Netanyahu placating the crazies as opposed to Netanyahu being one of the crazies, I think is a little far-fetched. But having said that, right, the idea was he wanted to outright starve literally everybody in Gaza. And because to my recollection and to what I remember reading at the time, it was the Republicans trying to tell him, hey, we want to still help you, but it's going to be rougher if we start to see a bunch of emaciated child skeletons on the fucking timeline. Okay. So they decided to do the optics of letting a trickle of food back in so that they could do photo shoots and shit.
Hold on.
I'm telling you that there's a lot that you can look at as far as what's going on there.
Can you send me something about this? Preferably, I would like.
I'll look it up after this.
Like the speed. Okay, fine. Because like, by the way, I can probably depending on where it came from or whatever. Like I know people who live in Israel, like liberal people, and they talk about things Netanyahu says all the time, and like Hebrew, like stuff he says in Hebrew as well too, because usually he will say something different in Hebrew than he says in English. What?
Maybe.
What, do you think that's not true? He does that all the time. He tailors messages differently for different audiences.
Oh, I mean, sure. But I mean, it wasn't like a televised thing, so that
was it something that was leaked?
What he's doing like a Hillary Clinton public speech?
No,
like you have to have a
that's not
you have to have a behind the scenes opinion and then a on camera opinion.
That's not the suggestion. If you were talking about something that I'm sure there'll be an article. I'm sure there's an article in this about in Times of Israel about this. They're generally a pretty measured publication, and they report on a lot of stuff that gets leaked from from inside the government. and whatnot. I recall seeing, I believe they, or it might have been Haaretz that had a report out where the IDF chief of staff was saying, "Hey guys, things are starting to look real bad in Gaza. If we don't lift this blockade soon, people are going to start starving." And he was concerned about that, and he was voicing that concern behind the scenes. I don't know if you heard about that or not, but that was one thing
I mean,
that was happening.
I'm sure that occurred. I may have even read it at the time, but a behind the scenes like yellow sticky note versus an intentionality to starve everybody there and still deprive like medical supplies and shit.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
but
I don't know how much weight. I don't know how much weight the one voice carries
I
against the sea of the other. But
I just would like to see like some, but you know what? I'll look that up later. Because I'd be curious about that. If he did intentionally want to, but I mean, like I said, like things did change over time. And a lot of my issues with the genocide charge is people calling it a genocide after, or like on October 8th.
so
Like
you've said that before. Well, I think
which I think is
there's a couple of misnomers. So the first one being is that the people that said I don't think necessarily I don't think anyone was saying on October 8th genocide was in progress per se. I would probably go a little bit farther as to people were seeing the writing on the wall and pretty much guessing what was about to occur. So in so much that in the same regard that when you already were told by your teachers, and not you, I'm sure you're a very smart individual that got good grades, but
sometimes.
when your teacher told you that they called ahead and told your mom about an F you got on a paper, and you knew all the way home that the moment you walked through the door you were going to get your ass handed to you, right? I would go out on a limb that the consensus was in that moment that this was what we were about to walk into, not saying that, oh my God, they've already been genocided or something to that regard.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware that that's what people were saying, but like there's a lot of things that people were saying that were really fucking stupid, like the starvation shit. The fact that people have been saying that Gaza was starving for years, and so when Gaza started actually starving, it got really annoying when like it kind of gave like the far
Okay.
right
I
people
mean,
in Israel actual ammo
dipshits on the
because
internet. Dipshits on the internet are
it
going to do
wasn't
dipshit on the internet
it
things. Who
wasn't
gives
just
a shit?
dipshits on the internet, dude. It was like UN spokespeople that were
Okay.
saying Gaza is on the
There were
brink of
also
starvation.
activists prior to October 7th. There were also Israeli activists in Israel that were saying that it was already an open air prison, that it was already a ghetto, that water was scarce.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't exactly fucking Shangri-La, and I don't think
I
that's
never
really outlandish to suggest.
No, it wasn't. But I think that of those two characterizations, I think the only one I think open air prison is probably a fair thing because the extent to which people were allowed to leave was quite limited. I don't think calling it a ghetto as in like a Nazi ghetto or a concentration camp is at all like fair. And I don't think comparing October 7th to the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising as Norm fucking Finkelstein did is fair either. Like, I mean, do you think Israel's is like Nazi Germany?
So I listened to our bald friend talk about this the other day, and that's the other misnomer that I just mentioned. I think people that are saying that it is like identical right now, and the people that are pissed off by the suggestion, I think in the example that you saw the other day, the three gentlemen that Hutch was watching.
I watched that on my stream, and then hold on.
Yeah,
I
know.
Just a sec. Just a sec. Can you give me a second? I want to close my door because my cat just pushed it open. I'm at my parents' house right now.
Darn cats.
Yes.
Anyway, what I was going to say, and this can be the last thing.
Okay.
So watching the conversation from the other day, because I think that's probably the spark or the impetus for people to be discussing this right now.
By the way, I didn't get to say everything I wanted to say in that conversation because I forgot half of what I was going to say when I got in there because I was like the first time I ever got to talk to Hutch. But anyway, go on. The Nazi.
He does have a certain mystique about him, doesn't he?
No, well, it's not just that. It's because I never talked to him before, and sometimes I get nervous.
He's just such a crazy character. Anyway,
I think he's a cool dude. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, he has his moments for sure. So anyway, what I was going to say is I think there's a difference of understanding for Hutch, he wants to talk about metrics, and I think Overzealots, Kunzler, and Samson are talking about perceptions of motivation and intent and rationale. Right. The whole idea is supposed to be that when you hear a phrase like never again, it's supposed to be this global thing where we see the potential for a repeat based on ideologies and treatment of one group to another, things like that. And then we step in earlier because we have learned this huge lesson. And I think that's what people are referring to when you look at a particular army that has another group of people completely outmatched, that they have like an ethno-nationalist design on land expansion, and they are willing to do whatever they pretty much can get away with in order to claim that land. But they are not there where they have like crematoriums and shit. I think global
I mean,
trade and the nakedness of like a world where everyone's plugged in is kind of keeping that particular lane cool.
it's
I mean, like
funny
simmered,
that
like they're
yeah,
not
but
getting there.
evidently the RSF and Russia just don't give enough of a shit to not do the same kind of shit that I would say is a genocide, apparently. But I guess
No, because they're our enemies, right? That's the difference. One is an ally, the others are considered enemies, correct?
I mean the RSF is friends with the UAE.
Well, they're backed by the
which
UAE, and then
is
in turn
an
there are allies.
ally
Sure.
of America.
No, yeah.
Well, no, hold
But-
on. Hi, loner. God damn it. Did you just come in here so that you could talk to Overboy?
I thought it was like a perm system. I'm just listening. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah.
I just like
we're
sitting here,
almost
then I can
done.
feel like I'm important. I like chilling in
mean,
streamers.
I really don't think
PCs.
you are, but
Jesus Christ, Overboy. Oh my god.
what? I said I didn't want to talk to him.
Yeah, I know. I didn't ask him to come in here. But yeah, like I did
I'll
give
just mute myself.
he's not gonna say anything. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, you said that. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If you are you open to having a longer conversation about this, because I don't really think that I don't agree with that characterization, or rather I don't think that that's what those guys are saying. I think that's incredibly charitable. Those guys actually think that Zionism is Nazism. They think they're like the same thing, or that they're comparable enough, which I think is insane and ahistorical, and it also triggers the fuck out of me.
Do you think that? So you were saying during the conversation with Pisco that the basically, and I think there's a caveat here that's really important, but you were basically saying that it's the same the Palestinian citizens of Israel or the Arab citizens of Israel, or whatever euphemism you want to use, that they have the same rights as the Israelis, correct?
I mean, on paper they kind of do. Like, there's some things that they don't. They deal with a bunch of systemic discrimination, but they're not like,
especially when it comes to being able to keep your home, right? Because one of the things, and to the extent that I've looked into this shit, right?
That is an issue that they face. But I just want to say,
can you elaborate on that?
It's not.
I'll let you talk about it. Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, most of this is stuff that I've been informed on by someone who does live there and is a Palestinian, and I also did like look into this as well too. A lot of the stuff that they face is, it's like a sort of like, so first of all, they have to deal with the police either don't help them, like their villages don't get as much police support, and so they have a lot of problems with crime, especially under Ben-Gvir. He kind of was a dick and just made it way worse. And then the land thing is an issue, but part of the reason also why that's an issue is because the Israeli government really wants to own all the land. It's like this weird thing that they're doing, probably because so that then they can like
with
move people around as they please.
There's like a fund. There's a fund as part of
yes,
like their infrastructure, right? And that the whole point of the fund that controls the infrastructure is that essentially it has to be used for the I think it's, what is it, Basic Law 7A or something like that.
Yeah,
it has to go towards something that preserves the ethnic Jewishness of Israel.
Arabs get discriminated against in, like, yes, Palestinians Palestinian citizens of Israel or Arabs, they get discriminated against in Israel proper. I'm not saying that they don't.
So
but
it's
I'm
a
not
little
s-
bit it's a little bit worse than like than just saying that it's like it's on par but worse with like the way that black people are treated
I
in
said
America.
I
per
said
se.
it's worse than the way black people are treated in America.
Well, I
but
mean,
I'm
like it's a
saying
little
that
bit worse
it's
than
systemic discrimination.
worse.
But I'm saying
Like
yes, but it's not apartheid. Was the main point.
so when someone can just cough up like a deed and say that house is mine and that the deed doesn't really get questioned, and in turn you get kicked out of that house, not in the West Bank but inside Israel. That kind of goes to say
that often happens in East Jerusalem. Actually, that's where that's like a big problem with Sheikh
okay,
Jarrah and stuff.
but it
Which I mean,
happens.
yeah, yes, that
So
does
that
happen, but that's not what
the
apartheid
citizens
means.
there,
Apartheid is not you get fucked over in the
you're the
housing
one that keeps saying
department.
you're the one that keeps saying that word over and over again. I'm not. I'm speaking
Okay,
just to
okay,
the
well
idea. I'm
that
speaking
was
just to the idea
that was my
that
main
it's
contention.
samesies, right?
I never said it was the same. I said they have it worse than black people do in America, and I said they face systemic discrimination, but it's not apartheid.
But you said by and large, right? During the course of the conversation with Pisco, by and large, you were like, they have the same rights.
They have
It's
a
just
lot
a little
of the
bit worse
same
than
rights, but I think that
okay.
you are
But like
misrepresenting me.
being
Also,
relegated to like 2% of the land inside of Israel as an Arab citizen of Israel, that's not exactly
I don't think they're
like that's kind of
relegated.
bad, right?
They're not. What? Where are you getting this 2% of the land thing from? That is not the impression that I. What? They can still like. There are cities in Israel that they live in that are like mixed cities and stuff. Also, Israel in
Okay,
general
but
has a bunch of
would you
problems
not
with
agree though that there's a
Housing's-
like extreme ridiculous versions of redlining that happens there?
Yes, yeah, there's some of that, sure.
Okay. So we can argue about the percentages and maybe I can find my source later
Yeah,
on and
well,
DM it to you or what
no,
have you. But the
that's
idea
fine.
is they don't have the ability to live where they want, right?
Yes, that can happen, but bro, my main
Not can, does.
my main contention with regards to like the kinds of shit that they deal with, all I was saying was that I think calling it apartheid is silly. Okay? I'm not denying that they face like a shitload of discrimination.
If you're wanting stats,
Okay.
I'm just going to drop that because you guys were just wondering about stats. It's like 4% of the land in Israel is owned by Arabs. Not much more of it is owned by Jewish individuals, though. It's I think most of the land in Israel is owned either
No,
by the state
I
or
specifically
13 by the
Mina
JDF.
Gallery.
but-
I said relegated to, not owned. Go ahead, mute yourself.
Oh my god, bro. Are we almost done? Because there's another debate that wants to happen.
I'm waiting to see the
How can
mute
they be
icon.
relegated to 2% of the land if they own 4%? That wouldn't make any sense.
Well, I got the percentage off, and I said in that moment that
okay.
we could argue about the percentages, and maybe I can find my source later. This was going off of Top Dome. I was off by 2 whole percent. Holy fuck! You righted the lefty today, didn't you?
No, he's saying.
But you said it wasn't ownership. You said it was relegated, but now you're saying you're accepting that it is probably ownership you're referring to. Okay, it's fine. I just thought it'd be a valuable fact check until you don't get busy. Fine.
I mean, he does. Yeah, like he had those stats off the top, and like like I could look it up, but yeah, it's not. I'm just saying though, like what I said before is true. The government wants to own most of the land.
Okay, but
which means that even Jews don't really get to own the land individually either.
If they're forced to a specific region, and that the funding for the country is designed as such to not spend infrastructure money on where the Arabs live.
Yeah, that's called
that
discrimination.
Kind of seems like it's not. Yeah, no, I agree.
I never said that they're not discriminated against. They are.
Okay.
By the way,
to make
black
it
people
sound,
dealt with that same kind of
to
shit in the United States too.
To be clear,
still do.
To say that they're discriminated. No, hold on. When you were talking to Pisco, the whole point being to say that they're discriminated against is like walking down the street and saying a slur. That paints a different image than having systemic elements that could prevent them from living where they want.
Did I not say systemic discrimination in that conversation? I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, then that's my bad, and I should have. They face systemic discrimination that is worse than what black people face in America. or maybe it'd be more fair to say it's more akin to what Black people used to face in America a long time ago, but like they don't
Okay.
necessarily have
I
that
mean,
same amount of
maybe
problem
used
anymore.
to
But I mean, Black
maybe
people
used to
still.
escaped me in the moment.
No, I mean, I didn't say that then, but like, yeah, fine, whatever. I should have, like, I was just trying to, the worst thing is something as well that yeah, like it does seem to be worse. Although Black people deal with a lot of shit now with regards to like housing and whatnot too. So but it's not as bad as it used
Well,
to
yeah,
be.
but now we just
Obviously,
call that capitalism. So
oh Jesus Christ, redlining is not the same thing as like, but yeah, like redlining was a thing that they had a long time ago in America. So if we
so
wanted to say that,
now can you
but
you
I'm
elaborate a
just
little bit on the ability to get married and bring people home if you meet them abroad if you're an Arab?
um wait, where are we going with this? Are you just trying to like lay
I
out
just
all
have
the
questions. I'm a dumbass internet lefty
Yeah, but I feel
tanky
like you're
fuck,
trying to
and
walk
you are
me
the
down
person that knows more
something.
than me. So I'm just wanting to ask you for your opinions because you know people that I don't. You have connections to people that I don't. I'm just asking you to elaborate to me some things
I
that I've
don't
heard.
think that I ever asked.
How am I going to get a better picture on things if I don't have the ability to
Yes,
ask people
Israel
like you
restricts
to
its
correct me?
Israel restricts its immigration to people who are not Jewish, or yeah.
Okay.
Although
Okay,
they
that's
might be
good to
able
know.
to, if an Arab Palestinian gets married to someone, it's possible they might be able to bring them back to the country under certain circumstances, and depending on where that person is from. But I'm not sure about that. There might be a special process. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. That's a specific thing that I never really thought about. Oh god damn it.
Huh.
Okay. Insomniac, I don't think Ogre Boy wants like other people in here. You probably
No,
have an
because I
answer
got a couple.
to
They
this
can stay,
question.
but the little red microphone needs to stay by the face. I have a
Okay.
couple more questions.
Well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I think the reason why Insomniac is Israeli, and I think that's why, because he knows about this. He came in here. I don't think Sev
I'm
is
here
awake
to
right
talk
now.
to the streamer.
I
are the
can be really quick.
streamer.
They're talking about the marriage. There's the way that the marriage law works is that it's if you are marrying someone and they have family in either the West Bank and Gaza or in Syria, Iran, for example, then it's pretty unlikely, if not impossible, that you can get your family members over from the marriage. So if someone
Oh,
who is Jewish Israeli marries a Palestinian woman who is from Israel, they can get married somehow. And then the problem is that the Palestinian person who's got family, say in Syria, that family in Syria couldn't come as part of a family reunification thing because they're enemy states. It's not that unusual for countries to do this when it comes to enemy states. Like you can talk about what they say in Lebanon if you so much as speak to an Israeli in terms of what your rights are, but yeah, you can disagree with it or not, but that's what the law. Yeah.
Yeah.
hey,
So
thanks for that. Go ahead and mute yourself.
I'm guessing then that that like if it was an
One
American.
one last question.
Okay.
So let's say in the highly fucking unlikely hell has frozen over, we are now living in the upside down scenario where an Arab becomes the prime minister of Israel, as Hutch previously said was possible.
I don't think they can. I believe that's like the
Well,
one
no,
position they
Hutch
are barred from.
actually, here's the fun part. They can. It is about as likely as Hassan becoming president, although in this day and age in America, Lord only knows what could end up happening. Back to my question. In the
an
event
Arab citizen.
that
Okay,
that
yeah, I
prime
think it's
minister,
the president. Anyway, go ahead.
Either way, in the event that that particular person decides to change some element of law to say that Israel is for all Israelis, as opposed to doing anything that changes, even if it's democratically, that Israel is no longer an ethno-state. Is there anything on the books that would be able to immediately Article 25 that particular sitting politician?
No, I think they'd have to have a vote of no confidence. Like, why are you asking me these questions as if I'm not like a huge, like, I feel like at this point now I'm going to say, Insomniac, unmute yourself and answer that question because you're a fucking Israeli and you know the ins and outs of your government. I don't even know if
you wanted to have the
Lonerbox knows
good
the
faith
answer to that
conversation.
question.
You wanted to have the good faith conversation about elements there, and part of your contention was is that with some you know, kind of worse than at the time, but by and large things are pretty much even Steven sort of shit. Like they face some systemic discrimination, but
That's
you know, it's a
bro,
pretty good place.
that's
I'm asking you some
not
very specific
what
things that
I
show that they are
said.
greatly not treated the same, and that they in
I
essence are second-class
did
citizens.
No, they're not second-class citizens. I don't think that is the case. Do
Is there not a two-tier differential to suggest that the state
There-
is not for
there-
them?
There are things.
Is there any documentation in their basic laws that turns around and says that Israel is a state for its Arab citizens as well?
I believe that one of the basic laws, Insomniac, you can tell me I think one of the basic laws promises
it's
equal
part of-
rights for all citizens. Does it not? Please go
It i-
ahead.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is part of the Megillat Ha'atzmaut, the Declaration of the Independence of Israel, that enshrines within it, or states within it, that Israel is a country, a democratic Jewish country, without the difference of dat geza v'min, without the difference of religion, race, or sex.
Yeah, that's why there was a lawsuit that was brought after they passed the nation state law, because the people thought that this
And
violated.
So what happened to
the-
that? So what ended up coming of that?
Oh, the Supreme Court said that the nation state law did not violate that, but I believe the nation state law also said something in it about how this does not invalidate the what Insomniac was just talking about. And the nation state law was basically just I mean, it's not good, but it was a virtue signal. Like it didn't actually change
specifically
anything.
one of the things that, because I spent a night looking into this or listening to people talk about it, to the extent that any asshole on Twitch or YouTube can research things in this day and age. And one of the admissions was that it basically just codified existing laws on the books, but that it was something that was responsible for setting up an ability to
that's the problem.
claim
is
land
that
and push people out of their homes.
there's
Right-wing politicians try to use it as a springboard if they can. That is true.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
like the I think that's the general general thing with regards to that. The issue is that listen, one of the biggest issues that that Palestinian Israeli citizens face is the fact that yes, they are often made to feel like they do not belong in the country, or that it is not a country for them. And I think that Israel could fix that without and still remain like a state that is also for Jews. I don't think these two things are mutually exclusive. I think it's perfectly possible for them to do that. I don't think that there's I think that they could say that they're, that, but we still welcome our Arab citizens, or specifically some sort of welcoming call out with regards to them written into the law.
I mean, you're basically saying that it's our house and you're allowed to sleep on the couch, but know your place
No,
is the way that comes across.
Well, no, it wouldn't be like
I
that.
mean-
it would be saying that, but you also live here and you're also part of our country.
But
know,
the
like, you
country
could
is
say it.
specifically not for them by virtue of.
No, you don't. You could say that that both groups both of them are welcome. Or you could even just say
And
this.
do you think there's
Israel
ever
is
a
safe
future where they
haven.
decide to do? Do you think there's ever a future where they decide to do something different with the money that they have set aside for infrastructure? That they change I think it's what was it, the NSF? The fuck, I remember reading this a while ago.
I
But
mean,
I haven't looked at it in a while.
haven't they? Wait, hold on.
Nation State Fund, I think, right?
Insomniac.
So do you ever see a future where they take the nation state fund and they go, you know what, we've been fucking over the Arabs for too long, and we're gonna like rebuild some of their apartments, we're gonna put a brand new school in,
I mean,
run some better utilities? Like, do you see that is something that ends up happening?
Hold on. Insomniac, has this not been a thing that's happened in the past?
I'm asking you.
It's happened in the past. It's happening mostly in mixed cities, and it happens mostly in urban areas. In more rural areas, there's a neglect. The neglect is worse for the Palestinian side, but there's neglect just for the rural areas in general, even for like Jewish quote unquote settlements.
Yeah, that's what I've been told before, but I asked him to ensure to clarify, because obviously he is more.
If you wanted a yes or no answer, the New Israel Fund has been used for affirmative action programs for Palestinians in Israel. It has. Actually, ironically, even Netanyahu has at one point pushed affirmative action for Palestinians in Israel.
To get them into
Not as
tech
much as
sectors, I think, wasn't it? Like, didn't they want to get
Yeah,
minorities
yeah.
into tech or something? Yeah. that
Yeah,
was
and
a
there's
thing.
obviously very pragmatic reasons to do that, right? Because obviously, like if there's any fucking uproar in the West Bank, or especially in the West Bank, then you don't want it to bleed over. So there's like a way of buying people in a way, yeah, even if it's for cynical reasons.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway, that was Ogreboy. We can talk again another time if you want to. Thanks for coming on. There's another conversation that I want to get to here now as well too.
Oh, sure. It's been real.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. You can. I was gonna say he could stay, but okay.